swear that much.
Wankers!
We even did the test in our
We're live, Ange!
It's Angie Pops. It's Angie Pops. We like to hear us swear on the TV.
Clip it.
Excellent. Well done, Ange.
You didn't get it, did
got
you?
you.
Someone wasn't paying attention to the timer, unfortunately.
Hello, guys.
Yeah.
We don't think that. That's not the opinion of Infinite Monkey Tales.
There was no one here. Right.
Oh dear. Welcome. We're back. It's another
Yeah.
Saturday.
Guess who's back?
Yeah. She's only been back the first stream. She's already buggered it up.
Oh, right, disrupted everything. Cheers, Ange.
So, should I just mute myself?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Nobody noticed. We're alright. We got away with it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh.
We're back. I hope you're all doing well. We're at the end of January already. And we're doing Blades. For those of you who don't know, we did episode 1. Was it
Should we tell? It's 55 days, 20 hours ago.
55? That can't be right.
55 days. It's right.
Wow.
It is accurate. Just have a look in the chat window, man.
Wow. 55 days?
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's been a while. And we're back. We're carrying on this brilliant game. If you're not familiar with Blades in the Dark, head on over to our YouTube channel. We have a session 0 of Blades in the Dark where we explain the mechanics and everything. I missed that. Then we did episode 1.
Which is why we're about to die.
Where I buggered this up because I missed that.
It's a great tell. Like the party itself doesn't do round 0 or follow up on the notes.
Yeah,
but you should do it as well.
Before we delve into that, next week, so everyone knows, we will be streaming on Friday. We'll be doing a Mutants and Masterminds Q&A, specifically going through what I did wrong, how I did it wrong, and why it was so wrong that I should deserve firing.
Is this basically going to consist of you reading out a rule and then Kaidari hitting you with a big stick?
Yes.
Hey,
Actually,
I'm
I
going to
even
tune into
tune into that myself.
I didn't even
go over
realize
to
that was
Infinity
what they were
Case, anything
agreeing.
with a big stick. That'll make it a lot more entertaining.
So yeah, it went horribly wrong. So we're going to go through the rules. We're also going to explain a lot of mechanics that we keep not being able to explain because we're obviously playing the game. So that'll be interesting. So if you're interested in Mutants Masterminds and you want to learn and understand, like me, how it actually works, you should join us on Friday. And it'll be me and Kadari, maybe someone else. We'll see if anyone's interested in joining us. And like I said, we'll be going through some of the mechanics. It won't be a long
We all get to
stream.
hit you with a stick.
Yes. For those who
I'm
play
coming there.
Mutants
Yeah,
and
they do that. We'll be
Masterminds,
there.
it is worth watching.
What happened to you while you were unwell? Did you not have this weird beating people with sticks thing?
Keep 2 meters
always
away.
had it.
It's a 2
I
meter
hit
stick.
everyone with it.
It's like
It's a
some people
side
come back from an
effect.
illness. Yeah.
It's a side effect that they don't tell you on all the literature about COVID.
Yeah.
You wake up wanting to hit people with sticks.
Yeah, some people apparently come back from an illness like speaking a foreign language. Other people just want to be violent with a stick.
Yeah. And then on Saturday we will be doing the remaining part of episode 2 of my Mutants and Masterminds. If you haven't watched it, today I believe is the last day that it will be here on the Twitch channel. After that, you'll have to wait till Tuesday when it will go live on the YouTube channel. So if you've not seen it and you want to catch it, you probably won't catch it now without having to skip this stream. But Tuesday on the YouTube, make sure you're following that so you see it when it goes live.
That means please subscribe to our YouTube again, people.
Yes, because no one is.
Yeah.
We've got loads of you here on Twitch. We've got loads of you in our
I'm back
Discord.
now. I'll get back on the social media.
We have 34 subscribers on the Infinite Monkey Tales YouTube channel currently. That number
cool.
could double without too much effort, I think.
Yeah.
It
I'm
could-
on it. I'll be nagging next week. I'll be nagging.
It helps with surfacing the videos. It helps get us our own short URL, so we don't have to give people this massive long thing that we get.
How many do you need for that then?
Thanks, Aldo.
Go Aldo! Woohoo!
So yeah, and it really does get us up there along with the other more established YouTube channels that do this kind of thing. So yeah, please do. Absolutely appreciate your support.
And of course, as always, if you want to see more of what we're doing, jump on over to our Discord. We have now actually published our calendar for the next few weeks. So make sure you head on over to our Discord and check out the calendar tab, see what's coming up, and make sure you're here for the streams that obviously tickle your fancy.
There is lots happening.
And if it doesn't tickle your fancy, you're still welcome to come here and talk in the chat and just abuse Ange all the time, because it's why not? You might as well.
Rude.
So yeah. So we don't have many
1
notes
million
at the moment.
points. 1 million channel points, guys. That's all it takes.
It
I'm
really
working on it.
does.
I'm like 30,000.
They're all saving up for my channel points. Everyone will have the 10,000 for Angie. They're after the 1 million to mute me.
Yeah, it's 10,000 to mute me. It's
Everyone's
a million
got
to mute him.
10,000, surely by now.
Does it mean it mutes me on here? Actually talking
We'll do
right
both.
now,
Oh
or
yeah,
just
we'll do everything. We'll just kick you out. It's gonna be great.
rude?
Yeah.
Bless. I've
No one's done
been
them yet.
poorly as well.
Aw, sympathy.
And this is how you treat me.
So if you don't fall for it, champ. If you want to mute her, do it. Right. So, that's pretty much everything. So without further ado,
That was pretty brief for us, wasn't it?
it was a brief. There's not much been going on. We're still gearing up. We're still trying to get the cogs going. Obviously, as you all know, COVID is a bastard. And
It is a bastard.
it is rampaging across the world, and unfortunately, nobody is safe from it. So yeah, so we'll do our best to maintain what we can. We can't promise anything, as I'm sure you will appreciate, but we will do our uttermost best to bring you the crap quality that we've always brought you.
The non-swearing
Quality.
over 18 stream.
So, without further ado, I will hand tonight's game over to some old pirate.
Well, thanking you very much, Litar. Okay, so I think we actually came up with a name for our crew that nobody realised that it had occurred. I think Lloyd had kind of
It never really came up.
mentioned. I don't even know where you mentioned it, Lloyd. I've got no
He said
idea.
it in the chat today. We went with it.
And
It's
that
as
was
simple as
it.
that.
And I don't know how everybody feel. How does everybody feel about the name for this crew? We won't reveal it just yet, but
I like it.
It's the stream title, isn't it?
Oh my
as
god.
if anybody's read that.
Well, I mean, it would have had no relevance until this conversation.
Exactly.
I had not
You've
twigged that
done
it
it.
was. I had not twigged that it was our new crew name, but I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
Anyway,
oh.
it's going to be that kind of stream, isn't it? I guess.
It is going to be that kind of stream.
And so, a little recap as to what happened during the last game, which was a very, 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 very long time ago. Our crew had been hired. They are a group of what they call shadows. They are specialize. Hold on a minute. They specialize in burglaries and spying and subterfuge. And they had been hired by some wealthy merchant who was acting on behalf of a mutual friend to retrieve a book from a low-level fence who had acquired this item and was trying to sell it on behalf of another gang. Our group had done a little bit of investigating and finally managed to locate the residence of this fence and have broken into the house through various methods of being sneaky and entering through the cellar entrance of the house, to convincing the butler of the residence that they were under attack from some gentlemen in the street and needed safety to scaling the side of the building and climbing in through the roof or through an upstairs window. Once inside the house, they have apprehended the fence, whose name is Cedric Leitch, in an attempt to get him to open the safe for them. And something has started to manifest inside inside the room where they are, in the darkened corner. Something glowing and white. Does that basically sum it up?
Yep.
I don't know if it made sense to me. And so, well, I think we're going to start actually with Nicholas. Nicholas Drozdoff, the lurk of the group, who is now currently on the top floor. He's looking down the staircase, and he can probably see lights flickering downstairs and movement. And Nicholas, as you're kind of standing there at the top of the stairs, you can hear some shouting now and a screaming. You hear a woman scream, and you hear some voices shouting downstairs. There appears to be some kind of altercation going on. And at the same time, you suddenly feel all the hairs on your arms suddenly kind of stand up, like there's a large static electric force kind of building up. What do you want to do?
I'll head down the stairs slightly, try and get a look at what's going on down below.
Yeah, you could. This house is on 3 floors, as we described last time. You're on the very top floor. You make your way down to the what we would call the first floor in the UK, and you can see below there is a hallway. You can make out the entrance hallway, the front door at one end, and then a door just inside, off to one side, that is open, and you can see light kind of pouring out from that. You can probably also notice some figures in the hallway, slightly more in shadow. You probably recognise one of them as Solomon Black, the group's whisper. In the doorway, you probably make out the large shape of Slip, the group's cutter, who appears to be brandishing a sword, which makes you think that maybe things have gone slightly awry. I'm not sure what you're rolling for there, Ashley.
I was checking it was working.
Good.
Yeah, because
It's working.
somebody asked casually in the discreet chat whether it was working, so I tested it.
Oh, okay. Nicholas, that's what you can see. Is there anything else you want to be doing, or?
Can I see down to the bottom floor? See if our exit's clear that way.
As I say, you can look down into the floor below. You can see that entrance hallway, and the front door is at the other end. It is shut at this moment in time. You do know that there is another the entrance through the cellar, but
Yes.
you're not quite sure where that comes out. You can't see that from where you are, but you know that obviously Slip and Solomon came in through that entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Do Slip or Solomon look like they're carrying the key?
I believe Slip does have the key. Perhaps you can see him holding that up in his hand. He's got a sword outstretched in one hand.
Right.
But he does appear to have this key. You can just catch the glint of it in the light.
Yeah. I'll just rush over to Slip then and try and, at some point when he's not being attacked, try and get the key.
Okay, sure. So in the room, we have Cedric Leitch, who is currently sitting down on the sofa. Slip is pointing the sword in his general direction, after having retrieved the key from his neck. Ashlyn, you are also in the room. This strange crackling sensation is the first thing that you kind of notice. Slip probably can see it straight away. I think Ashlyn more than likely has her back to it at this moment in time from the way that you were positioned before. It's kind of coming from the far end of the room, which is slightly more in shadow, but is now kind of lighting up slightly. And something seems to be manifesting, and it appears to be kind of a humanoid shape, at least the top half of it does. It seems kind of slightly stretched and distorted as well, and you can make out that instead of eyes, they're basically these kind of hollows. There's no sign of any eyes on this thing, and its jaw drops down to an ungodly length. And I think we either need to make a decision here about whether you want to resist this, or whether you want to be frozen in fear or run away. This would be Ashlyn and Slip that's going to be having to deal with this.
So what do we need to do, sorry?
You can either resist, and so you can carry on acting as normal.
Yeah.
That will cost you stress. Basically, you're going to roll a dice. It's going to be based on... you'll be resisting with your resolve. And you are going to roll. In your case, it's going to be 2 dice. It's an automatic roll.
So just press the resolve.
Well, it depends what... Let me help you make the decision here. So you can either resist it, so you can carry on as normal, or you can run away in fear, or you can be frozen in terror as this thing appears in front of you. Bear in mind, if you resist, it's going to cost you stress. You just don't know how much. Yeah.
What's
I'm on
that? And I hear coming behind me somebody run down the stairs. And I see Nicholas coming down, and I say, "I've got the key," and I bolt it back towards him, meet him at the bottom of the stairs before he gets into the room.
Yeah. Okay. So you can basically toss this key towards him, and he will catch it because he's cool like that. That's fine. Are you?
Yeah.
What about this thing? How are you going to react? How does Slip react to this?
I follow the key.
Okay,
I've been alive too long. I've lived too long to know.
You're going to have to resist this if this is the case, because the idea is that you are either going to run away in fear, you are going to be frozen in terror, or you can resist, and you can carry on operating as normal.
Ah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Right. In that case, I am going to try to resist and operate as normal to get upstairs to where the safe is.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like what you would do. So yeah, it's going to be your resolve that you'll be testing on.
Here goes nothing. Modifier, none. Position. Desperate.
No, this is just going to be. It's just going to be a standard roll. So just say standard and risky standard. That's fine. Okay.
Damn it.
So you're going to take 4 stress to resist this. Basically, we're going to take those 2 dice. You're going to take the highest, and you're going to remove its. Take the highest dice and take 6 off, and that's how much stress you will take. So 6 minus 2 is 4.
Mm-hmm. Added.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. But yeah. So you manage to. You look at this thing. You throw the key back towards Nicholas, who catches it deftly, and you exit the room hastily, nearly bumping into Solomon, who's standing just outside the doorway there. And Solomon, you're already aware of what it is that's happening right now. But I just want to see what Ashlyn's going to do first before we deal with that.
Have I seen it though? Because you said my back was towards it.
No, you haven't. That's a good point. That is a very good point. You haven't seen it, but you know something is happening because all of the hairs on your arms and the backs of your neck have just suddenly kind of sprung out as if under a static charge.
So if I look behind me and see it and then run.
Okay, you look at that. You want to resist then, or are you going to run away in fear, or are you going to?
I would run away while pulling out my Spirit Bane charm.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. That would give you some assistance here, wouldn't it? I think. I can't remember what it will do, but we'll worry about it in a moment. So you grab your Spirit Bane charm, and you are going to sprint for the door.
Yeah.
I think you'll still need to do a resistance roll because you are going to pull your Spirit Bane charm out.
Okay, please be really nice to me because I've only got 5 stress left.
It's the dice that makes the decision.
Don't roll a 1. Yeah, don't roll a 1.
Just don't fail.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you an extra dice then because of the Spirit Bane charm, yeah? So you get a bonus.
So press
die.
resolve, yeah?
Yep.
Modifier, risky, standard.
Just say risky standard. If you get a bonus die, you want 1.
I didn't give me a bonus die option.
You
It
got
didn't,
partial
but you
success.
take 1 stress.
1 stress.
1 stress, yeah. And you are exiting the room as Leitch kind of starts to stand up and get up from the chair. The butler, he sees this thing, and you hear him shriek in this high-pitched shriek, and his face goes completely white. Solomon, you see this guy, you know what's happened, what he can see, and you kind of brace yourself as you do what?
So the guy as well reacted to the ghost. Because I thought it might have been his contingency.
You can't see Leitch from where you are. You can see the butler who's nearer the door.
Oh, the butler.
And you can see he's kind of just gone.
Yeah.
And it shrieked out this little scream. You will have to resist this thing if you see it, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you didn't.
Well, I can probably feel what it is, but yeah. I'll do that anyway. You know what? I'll resist it, but what I'll do is I'll step into the room and try and attune it.
Okay, nice.
Oof.
Yeah.
But then I can dismiss it or at least resolve it as a threat.
Yeah. So when you step into the room and you look at this thing, it's kind of almost like it's made out of smoke, the way it's kind of drifting around. But you can make out this humanoid shape, and these dark kind of holes for eyes, and its jaw dropping to a right down, almost down to its navel.
Yeah.
Where its navel would be, and it kind of looks at you, and it hisses this strange, ungodly noise. You want to make your resistance roll.
Where is resolve?
The resolve
Oh,
is
it's the actual column. Okay.
It is, yeah.
That's
you use
standard.
those to make your-
Okay.
Okay, it's going to cost you 2 stress.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
And you kind of step into this thing and you stare it down as it kind of hisses at you, almost as if it knows what you are.
Yeah. Just be like, Can I like reach out my will to it to try and dominate it?
Yeah.
So attune, same standard rolls.
It's going to be risky, because there is possible interference maybe from Leitch.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a standard effect as well. You are trying to compel this thing.
Okay, 3 and a 4, partial success.
Yes. Okay, so this thing it moves like lightning across the room towards you. You even hear Leitch kind of yell out, as if he wasn't expecting this thing to move as quickly as it does, and it kind of grabs a hold of you. It reaches out these strange, these Allen-like hands, and it grabs you around the face, and it kind of pulls its face right into yours, and you kind of feel it almost draining. You suddenly get very, very cold. So you're going to take a level 1 harm, I think, here.
Okay. Where is that
and
working?
that's going to be.
Oh, there we go. Level 1.
So you just type drained in one of the level 1 harm boxes. That's just going to cause you to have less effect when you try to use. It's kind of draining your energy, so pretty much everything. But you manage to kind of you have this kind of battle of wills that kind of goes on, and you feel this thing trying to get inside you almost as if it wants to kind of take control of you, and you manage to fight it back. What do you want to tell it to do? You can control this thing. You know that it's going to obey an instruction.
I was going to be like, because correct me if it wouldn't quite work in the way you wanted it, but I was thinking of just like wait, yeah, you have that thing, and just like be gone, and just disperse it back into the ghost field, like banish it if that's an option. Or
yeah, you certainly can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're basically just willing this thing to leave and get out of the way.
Just back in the ghost field where it came from.
Sure. So you kind of are locked in this battle of wills with this ghost. Casper, at the moment, you are coming up through the cellar, the stairs ahead of you. There's light ahead of you, up the top of the stairs. You can see the door is slightly ajar above. And there's a lot of noise up there, a lot of commotion, more than you'd probably expect. And that just reminded me, we also need to be having something else going on as well.
Oh no!
So,
we forgot about that party member.
No.
But luckily,
so, Casper.
Yes.
You know that you don't have much time before the spirit wardens arrive, and you need to get this book. You have no idea where everybody is in the house at this moment in time, although you can hear a lot of footsteps upstairs, a lot of movement.
Yeah.
And you also can feel this strange, odd sensation, like a sudden build-up of static electricity, like before a thunderstorm.
I think Casper will probably head up to the commotion at this point.
Yeah. And so as you kind of reach the top of the stairs, you kind of see Slip is now moving out of a doorway ahead of you, and Solomon kind of stepping in. You don't know where Ashlyn is, and you can just make out. You kind of just see the legs of. Actually, we'll deal with that in a moment because I haven't decided what he's doing. You probably do see the legs of Nicholas, and you see Slip kind of throw something through the air towards him. That bell is ringing.
Gotta move quick. We'd know if the bell was ringing that we have to move really quick.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing.
Which floor are we on at this point? We're on the.
You're on the ground floor.
We're on the ground.
You've just come up from the cellar, and you're now on the ground floor. As you where you're standing, almost directly ahead of you, there is another door, which is where all the light and the commotion is coming from. To the right, there's like a hallway, an entrance hallway, and there's the front door that's kind of there. That is shut at this moment in time.
I'm just going to turn to the others. Have we got it?
And Slip, you could respond. You would hear that because you are nearest.
It's upstairs. Move quick. Don't look in there.
Right. And I'll just immediately head to the next floor.
Okay, and that is where you nearly bump into Nicholas. Slip emerges from the doorway. He tosses the key to you.
Yep.
You catch it deftly because you are slick.
Yep. I've already started turning around as soon as the key hits my hands. I'm back up those stairs.
And that is when you catch sight of Casper emerging from the cellar doorway. You see Solomon has stepped into the room, and you can just catch that he appears to be holding his arm out towards something that's in that room. And you rush up the stairs. Casper, you can follow. Slip, you can follow, whatever you're doing. Are you going after them?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to run upstairs to make sure that the package is successfully retrieved.
Sure. Okay, so Ashlyn, what are you doing?
Well, I was trying to get out the door.
You were, weren't you? And you resisted, and you kind of see Solomon step through the doorway. You push kind of past him, and you're aware of Leitch kind of getting to his feet, and he shouts something, and then this thing zips across the room really, really quickly. You see it kind of grab a hold of Solomon, and enough to make him kind of cry out. And he probably doesn't even realize that he did it himself. And then you hear him say, "Be gone," or whatever it was that you were saying, Solomon.
So if I see that, if I turn around, can I throw?
No. Oh, what do you want to do?
I was gonna if I see that happening, can I turn around and push my spirit bane towards this thing getting Solomon?
Yeah, it's probably a bit late now, because as you do that, you kind of notice this thing starts to back away from him, with its arms outstretched as if it's trying to claw at him and trying to reach him, but something seems to be dragging it back into the corner of the room. Leitch is now on his feet, and you can see he's stepping forward, and I'm figuring that maybe Solomon won't have noticed it yet, but he seems to be stepping forward towards Solomon right now. But Solomon, his face is in total concentration. He is commanding this thing to leave.
Can I punch Lynch?
You can. I insist. Yeah.
I don't even know if I can fight. I just decided I was going to punch him.
You can do anything you want. You just got to be willing to spend stress.
Turn him into a ghost. You're wrong.
Yeah. If you want to kind of strike at him, how are you doing it? The idea is you describe.
I'm doing
how
it with my slim sword.
Oh, you're actually going to stab him.
But I'm only going to get him on the. So I'm going to get him on the back of the leg so he falls, get his Achilles tendon, So don't kill him, just maim,
Okay, just maim him. Yeah, I like it.
Light maiming.
Sure. Okay. So you are kind of swinging this sword out towards Leitch. What ability would you use for this? The obvious one would be skirmish, but it's entirely up to you.
I could do finesse, because I'm gonna do it like a ninja, slide across the floor and take the back of his ankles out.
Okay, in that case, because you're using that skill, I'm gonna say that's gonna have a reduced effect. So what you're gonna have, it's gonna be standard. It's gonna be a risky maneuver, but it's gonna have limited effect, and you want it to have limited effect, so you don't want to kill him.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, as he gets to his feet, it's like a cane sword, right? So it's very, very thin.
Yeah.
And you kind of just pull this thing out and quickly thwack this guy across the back of his ankles, and blood kind of sprays across the sofa as you do that, and he cries out in pain and sinks to his knees, and shouts a curse at you. Sure. Right. Okay. So what we do?
I have to put? Is that a success?
It wasn't desperate. It wasn't desperate. So
right.
You don't have. Nicholas, you are heading up the stairs. You're aware of Casper and Slip closing in behind you, but you're on that top floor before. Just in an instant, in a flash, because you're a very fast runner. The safe is there in front of you. You've got this key. It's kind of like a brass key, but it has these prongs that kind of come out on the end that kind of twist slightly. Each of these prongs, it's like a key. It's not like a key you've seen before, actually. It's a little bit esoteric, and you probably think that it's probably more for show than anything else, than anything particularly fancy. Although you know that this lock is particularly tricky. So you arrive in front of this safe, this large safe, which is like halfway up to the ceiling. Solid metal. You'd have already defeated this combination lock, so you slip the key in, yes?
Yeah. Did the key in and just sort of I try to feel it rather than just twisting it with brute force.
Yeah.
Just kind of feel it in the lock and
that
try
is
and
probably
finesse
the
it,
thing.
as it were.
Yeah, I think that probably is the thing that kind of saves you. Because as you kind of do that, you feel there's some kind of strange resistance, like slight resistance, as you do this. And you say you're finessing this?
Yeah, I'm trying to feel for anything untoward or anything.
Yeah, and I think
It seems too simple to just be a key that turns.
Yes, and I think you're absolutely correct, and I think you should probably make this roll.
Yep. Risky standard?
I think it is most definitely risky. It's going to be great effect actually, because it's the key to the safe.
Gotcha. That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it certainly makes up for last time. And as you kind of slide this key in, you kind of feel there's this strange resistance as you slightly turn it, like a kind of odd click, which makes you immediately turn the key in the opposite direction, which seems kind of wrong as you're kind of turning the thing, but it seems to unlock the safe, and it swings open. And you can see there's a few items in there. There's some coin. There is this kind of, it's like it wrapped in a cloth almost, like this handkerchief. There's a small slim journal, or there's that what it appears, which you assume is the MacGuffin you're after.
Yep.
So you take that out.
I'll quickly grab it. Is it locked in itself, or does it open normally?
No.
If it opens, I just want to check it.
Yeah, sure. You looking for anything in particular?
Well, I'm aware we're looking for a map book, so I'm checking
Yes.
if it is actually a map book and not just
And
his personal
you kind
diary.
of flip through these pages, and yes, there does appear to be some. Actually, you're a ex-sailor, aren't you?
Yes.
They appear to be navigational charts. That's kind of what you're getting from this. The other thing you kind of notice on kind of the front is that it bears a kind of like a coat of arms or a seal. So it belongs to some noble family. That's kind of the impression you get.
Yeah. Do I recognise the charts at all? Any of the locations?
Now the charts. I don't think you would. I mean, you've sailed the Void Sea, but these don't appear to be any part of the Void Sea that you had sailed on yourself. You weren't in a Leviathan hunter or anything like that, were you? You were just a merchant kind of sailor type.
Yeah, it would have been a trading vessel.
Yeah, so it seems to be off those routes, that you would be able to tell that much.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll just...
Perhaps about that time is when you would hear hooves outside in the street.
Okay then. I'll just go over to the window and check outside. Carefully, trying not to get spotted.
Yeah, you see a kind of elaborate looking car. I mean, you would recognise it straight away. It's kind of almost like a large metal cylinder that's kind of resting on the top of like a flatbed car almost, being pulled by 4 goats. What worries you more is the people climbing down from it are all wearing these gold masks, which you recognise immediately as spirit wardens who have shown up. Probably because that bell is ringing in the background and somebody has died nearby, but you know, you've got nothing to worry about because you haven't killed anyone. Right?
They're on a rooftop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably unrelated. I'll just...
our heists always follow strict health and safety.
As long as they don't come into this house.
There's nothing illegal going on here.
I mean, you know, yeah, it's on a rooftop a little way, but if they come in and see there's a guy bleeding out on the floor and a ghost and...
Yeah, to be fair, they don't appear to be coming towards the house. They're kind of climbing down, they're looking around. You know that, well, Casper knows that...
I know why they're here.
In an alleyway on a rooftop nearby. that these guys might be looking for.
It's also the reason why I dispelled the ghost, so that there wouldn't be a ghost energy lingering around while they were here.
Sure. So, that's what you see as you kind of look out of this window that you broke earlier. There's three of them, and they kind of climb down from this strange contraption, and seem to be making their way down the street a ways. Okay, who's up next? I think it's Slip. So Slip is just entering the room as you hear the door to the safe swinging open. Nicholas kind of standing in front of it, retrieving some items from it.
Is that what we need? Is that where we come from? Let's go.
And Nicholas is sitting looking. He's opened the book. He's looking at it. I just grab him and haul him out the room.
And that's when you hear those hooves and the cartwheels outside as well. And Nicholas, you see, moves to the window and he looks out.
Fuck, I say.
Yeah. Yeah. And you say you grab a hold of Nicholas.
Let's go. Get out. Move now.
Sure. Casper, you are also just arriving at this room behind Slip.
Yep.
You hear the goats and the hooves and the carts, the wheels of the cart clattering down the cobbled streets too.
So, am I on a landing at the moment?
You're kind of you're standing on a landing just outside the doorway to this room where you can see Slip is talking to Nicholas, and you can see the window ahead is actually broken, and you can hear the sounds of the cartwheels and the goats' hooves. And then perhaps you can hear a couple of voices calling out then as well to each other. You know, where is it? This way.
From where I stood, I take it I know which way is the front of the building and which way is the back then.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
Is there any window heading towards the back or a room heading towards the back?
Yeah, so you're looking at this is kind of a room. This room is facing the front of the house. You know that because you were able to spy it when you were observing the house. So there is a room further down the landing there, which will obviously have a window leading out onto the front of the house. At least you assume that to be the case. To the back of the house, sorry.
Yeah. Let's try getting out the back. And Casper's going to head to what he thinks is that back room and hoping that there is some sort of door or window that you can...
Man, you're a professional. Yeah, there's a door there. You force the door open and there you can see this window looking out into like the back alley where it's all quiet out there. There's a little bit of moonlight kind of shining down there, but you know, not too far away, there lies this corpse that the spirit wardens are probably looking for.
Do I know in which relation to the house where the corpse is? Is it in front of it or is it behind
it's
it?
Kind of off. You ran off, if you remember, you ran off down the alleyway.
Yep.
And this guy was going across the rooftops when Umbra kind of went and savaged the poor bastard to death. So you know it's probably a little way down the alleyway. It's just that these spirit wardens are going to have to make the way down the alley to get to it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They're going to have to come off the front of the house, like to get round to the back and down the alleyway.
So Casper will open the window and attempt to get onto the roof of the house.
Oh, okay.
But keeping low.
There's a really good drain pipe.
Yeah, let's forget about that. I
Don't
dealt with that very badly, and I'm sorry.
No, it's a good idea, the drain pipe. You know why you...
Don't trust the drain pipe.
Yeah, the drain pipe is a vicious bastard. So, you kind of look out. The roof is actually not too far above you, being on the third floor there. So, you can probably scramble out there without too much difficulty. You want to be not seen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to require perhaps something a little bit more. Now, I'm going to give you a pointer because you're new to this game. But the kind of role that you would normally do for kind of physical things like this, it would be prowl. Would be the skill.
Right.
But you get to decide what ability you're using. You describe how it is that you're going to do this, and then we can then decide what ability it is you're using to accomplish the task.
So
So it's not like I don't tell you.
Like when I
you're
said
gonna
I was going
roll.
to use finesse because I was going to like do some
Yeah.
elaborate.
So
Yeah.
he's going to do it in a very spectacular, like shadowy movement, like flicking
Okay.
his like very finesse style, just to get onto the roof. And he'll
Parkour.
yeah,
He's gonna parkour
it's very
it.
fancy parkour. It's only for
Yeah.
the posh. This.
And then you're immediately jumped by a wild pack of drain pipes.
Yeah, these drain pipes, they don't take any prisoners, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to try finesse this window. Right, so I think what we should say then...
And I suppose as well,
this roll-
as a little help, he has his pet shadow wrapped around him, and he signals the signal of to help and assist. So like extra shadow arms will help grab onto
okay.
things to help flick him the right way.
Nice.
All right,
That's
whatever happens then,
cool.
I'm going to say you get a bonus die for this.
Yep.
But I think what we're going to have to say is that this is going to be... I think this will be... I'm tempted to say a desperate roll. As you try to climb out, as you try to parkour out of this window
Yeah.
while remaining hidden. You will get a bonus die. The cool thing about it being a desperate roll is you get to tick a little flash on prowess there
If you
because no, if you succeed or fail, you get it.
Do you?
Anyway,
I thought it was just
yeah.
succeed.
You don't
Yeah,
have
get a
to-
little
no.
tick.
This game is very forgiving, and of course you're going to do this because you're really cool, and you can also push yourself. Remember, for 2 stress to give yourself an extra die if you wanted to.
I think I've got enough.
But yeah, you could do it.
So you let me do finesse, yeah?
I'm going to let you do finesse, but it's going to be desperate. So if it goes wrong, it goes fucking wrong, yeah? But you get your bonus die for, yeah. Whoa. Okay, right. So what happens here is you manage to do that, of course.
Yep.
You look spectacular as you do it.
Oh, good.
You stay hidden, and your shadow assists you and latches on while still kind of almost wrapping around you and using its arms to kind of help pull you up. But this bloody drain pipe that's been the bane of Nicholas's life, and as it's kind of sticking out, it catches, and you drop your rifle.
Uh-oh.
And you see it, as the strap kind of snags on the drain pipe, it catches and splits, and you see a rifle kind of just cascade down to the floor below. And just to make things even more interesting, that was a desperate roll, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It goes off.
Oh, come on! Okay.
Loaded.
I did load
Basic
it! Shit.
Of course.
But you're on the roof, out of sight.
I will whisper to Umbra to fetch the rifle. You muted.
You muted.
Yeah, so we'll deal with that in just 1 second.
Yeah.
Slip and Nicholas.
Still called Nicholas, yes.
Yeah. Gem. You
That's the name.
you see Casper climb out of the window and slickly kind of ascend onto the roof. And then you see something drop down the window and a loud crack of gunfire down in the street, in the alleyway behind you, at the back of the house. Solomon and Ashlyn. Leitch howls in pain and collapses to the floor. The ghost that had appeared seems to be kind of drawn and sucked back into the corner of the room and then kind of disappears. And you can, and Solomon, you're suddenly aware of Ashlyn kind of standing near you with sword drawn, and there is blood on the sword, with Leitch moaning and howling on the floor.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
We need to
And
get
it's
out.
like he's
We
gonna
need to move.
yeah, he's gonna kind of slip against the door frame a bit, like he's gonna steady himself.
Yeah,
I just grab his
think-
arm by the elbow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We step out the door.
We
and
can
I
go.
Shout
yeah.
up.
Are we gonna go out the
shout
front,
up.
or do you
Have
want
we
to go?
got it?
Are we
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
outside shouting up to them, being like, "Have we got it?"
No, we're not at the front door. We just stepped out the room, so we're in the hallway, aren't we?
Ah,
You're in
okay.
the hallway,
Yeah. So
Okay,
we
the
shout
other
up the
door.
stairs to Slip and
Slip, Nicholas and
We need-
Casper.
Nicola and Casper. Have you got it?
Time
You
to
guys-
leave.
You hear him
Okay.
shout.
We should leave
And
a.
then you hear a
red
loud
background
crack
somewhere.
of gunfire outside the back of the house.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
that new
Wasn't me.
that
We
new
should
guy.
have made someone go back
you
and
guys
watch
are liability.
Zero Session.
I've done
yeah.
nothing but ruin this. I'm the only one who's caused all the problems.
No, you've made
We
this
did.
better.
I think we need to have a word with the rookie when we get back to base. So
Okay, so I just
going
turned
back a bit-
around.
yeah,
Oh.
one thing I'd like to do before we leave is because when we had the discussion with your boy toy, the other district. Was the other district? I can't quite
It
remember.
was, Crowsfoot, yeah, it was Basho Bash.
Because I asked him for some of the red sashes that we could like sprinkle around the crime scene.
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, you'll
can
have
drop
them.
some of
I
those.
don't think that's
Well, yeah, so, like, or leave some of them around somewhere where it looks like people would have escaped to kind of
Yeah.
cast aspersions.
Okay.
I was gonna try and sway Leech to be like, oh, the red sashes send their regards, but I don't think he's gonna be cognizant at the moment in time.
No, he
I don't really
is.
have the
He's
energy
awake.
right now.
I mean, he's awake
Yeah,
if you want to do that.
It might
But
be
he'll be in a lot of pain.
He will. But you could still do that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I could try it, I guess. I'm not great. I've only got like 1 point in sway, but we'll see how it goes. But I'll still, yeah, we can still drop some around on our way as we leave the building.
Yeah. In fact, if you're going to do that,
Yeah.
give yourself a bonus die for this sway, because it will affect later, won't it?
Oh no, well, hopefully. A 5. Partial success.
Nice.
Okay. So, I'm going to say, I mean, this is risky and standard. So, you drop, you say this to him, and you say the red sashes send their regards, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he just kind of moans at you.
Yeah.
And you kind of manage, as you kind of go to leave, you kind of drop a few of these red sashes around, sure. But, what is it that Solomon leaves behind that may potentially... Yeah. And it could be anything. You don't have to look at what you're carrying or anything like that. It could be absolutely anything. Like even a monogrammed handkerchief or something, whatever.
Yeah, maybe like one of his charms.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Maybe
actually,
they're
I quite like
personalized. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like almost like a
It's-
spirit main charm kind of thing. that he
Because
carries.
he has a because I think because he has a demon bane charm in, like on him
Right.
as part of his gear. So yeah, you could leave one of that behind.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you managed to kind of where are you heading? Because I mean, as you make your are you making your way to the front or the back of the house? What is it you're doing?
I mean, I was thinking rather than go straight out the front door, also because he's kind of like knackered because of dispelling the ghost, is to go we should go downstairs and out the basement, because at least then we're not like directly in front of the store whenever we kind of get out. Because like I'm not gonna be able to like go through windows
Yeah.
or like
Okay.
walking across ceilings in my current condition. So like I figured at least not directly out the front door would be the best bet.
Sure. Right. Yeah. So you're going to be heading down and through the basement.
Yeah, back to
Ashlyn,
where we came back. Yeah.
So that you're going to suggest that to Ashlyn.
I'll
Yeah,
help
actually,
him because he's like
yeah.
drained and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd be stumbling a bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you kind of drag yourselves down through the basement door and down the cellar stairs the way you came in.
Yeah.
So Nicholas and Slip, who are in the room here, you've just seen Casper kind of leap out of the window, and then something has occurred, and you just heard a gunshot in the alleyway there at the back.
Yep. Quickly slip out of Slip's grip.
Okay.
Head back to the window.
Yeah.
Well, take a look
this
out,
is-
see
are
what's
you-
happening.
Okay, so you saw Casper. He didn't come into the room where you were, where the safe was. He went down towards the back of the house.
the room Casper went through, sorry.
Sure.
I got lost.
Yes, of course. I should have assumed that because I've just said that you saw him go out the window. Anyway.
Yes, sorry.
So you look down.
Whichever window he went out of.
Yeah, you look down and you can see laying in the alleyway there. You recognise the distinctive shape of Casper's rifle, and perhaps you can make out, or you hear somebody scrambling on the roof, appearing to be making their way down.
One way to go.
Yeah.
All right.
So whoever it was is on the roof. Is making their way down. You know it's Casper, but
Or at least his weapons are.
I'll
he's
just
going to retrieve it.
I'll turn back to Slip and just go, "Hey, you coming out the window or you're going down the stairs?" That's not Nicholas's voice.
Maybe it isn't the high
it is
stress.
now.
Getting out of here, and I'm not climbing on any roof. I'm going out downstairs now. And he just begin running out the room.
Right, go fast.
Okay, so you both leave. Leave
I'm
the
going
room,
out the
heading
window.
downstairs. Oh, you're going out the window. Excellent. I'd like to. The one thing I did want to think you to think about, because it would have helped in the climb that went so badly. Your special ability, Nicholas.
Yes.
You might want to pay attention to that, because that will allow you to do some pretty cool stuff. It'll cost you stress, but anyway, it's one of those things where you probably could have just jumped onto the goddamn roof of the building. But
That is pretty much what I was thinking.
yes,
Oh, I didn't
As long as I know
special
Slip
ability I
isn't
should have
following
used.
me, and he's going out the other way, I'm
Yeah.
just going to go out the window, just look outside, figure out the best way to get down from here without using climbing gear,
yeah.
and Devil's Footsteps out the window.
You can do that. Too stress if you want to push yourself to use Devil's Footsteps.
Yep.
If you're willing to do that. And basically, you just jump down into the street. The spirit wardens have basically disappeared. They've dispersed. You can imagine that they're probably going through the alleyways right now. Maybe even wondering what that gunshot was. At the back of the building. But you climb out of this window and jump and land on your feet.
As soon as I hit the
outside.
ground, I'm grabbing Casper's rifle and I'm going north.
Okay, excellent. And which is handy because that's the exact opposite direction of where you can hear some footsteps coming down the alley. Casper, you look out across the top of the roof and you see your rifle laying there, and you decide that you're going to start and go after it, right?
At first, yeah.
And then you see this figure, this leap out of the window, and kind of almost somersault through the air and land on his feet, just at the bottom of the alleyway there, grab the rifle, and he runs. You make out some figures that are coming from the opposite direction that this figure is running. You can make out there are a couple of figures, and they kind of hesitate for a second and then start running when they see this figure.
Do I have any weapons now, or was that my only weapon?
Have a look
You
at your
tell me.
loadout.
You came with I think you had a normal load, didn't you?
Yes, we all
that's what
have
you
normal
said.
loads.
So, your rifle would have been 2,
Yep.
but you didn't say that you were carrying your rifle, did you? Thinking about it.
I don't think I did.
So,
He used his rifle in the combat last time,
oh, did he? Okay, in that case.
so we assumed at the point he was carrying it, presumably.
You're just grassing
Alright.
me up now, aren't
So,
you? He had it last
so-
time.
remember, you've got 2. You can carry 4 things here, and you
Right,
don't
yeah,
have to
yeah.
specify what they are beforehand. So you can say you've got a pistol on you or something now. Yeah, without. I think that will cost you 1 of your load.
Can I intervene here just because I'm aware of new player? We know as characters that we do not mess with the spirit wardens. We absolutely 100% do.
I've got that. I wasn't thinking of messing with them, more of just distracting them at this point. Is there such a thing as like smoke grenades or Molotovs by any chance?
Now there is, and now normally it would be down to another playbook to have this kind of stuff at hand. The leech
Oh, right.
usually has that kind of
That's
stuff.
not me. Do I see, do I see anything explosive in the alley? Just out of happen.
What could there be? What could there be in the alley that's explosive?
Could be barrels of oil, maybe, for all the lamps. or something.
I'll tell you what we'll do.
What
We're
is
gonna
the
roll.
fire oil that I can't remember what they call it.
Electric
Barrel
fire.
of TNT just
Yeah.
at the bottom.
There's a guy with gunpowder just walking past.
If someone left out their can,
You don't want another body on your hands here, all right?
Again, I'm thinking distraction.
Yeah.
Right.
Have to explode.
You're suggesting there could be a barrel of oil or something in the alleyway. Is that
Yeah,
what you were
or
thinking?
something like behind where they're running from that I might be able to like cause another effect behind them to confuse them.
This
That's
is where
why
it collapses the building and you get like a dozen crows flying everywhere.
Could just run away.
Yeah.
That's already ringing. You can't ring more.
I've seen my
I think-
friend. He's being chased. He's clearly been seen. I need
Yeah.
to buy him time.
I think if Solomon was there, he would kindly say, "You've done enough for the team. It's now time to call it a day and just head home."
I mean, my argument was going to be, of all the people being chased in this team, I'm probably the best one to get away from.
Well, fine.
However, I really like this idea a lot. And,
Yeah,
and
me
so,
too. That's why I'm not saying it.
What I'm going to say,
no.
there is an oil lamp that is hanging just outside on one of the buildings, on the outside of one of the buildings. There's an oil lamp
Yeah.
that's kind of hanging there, and it's just in front of where these guys are running down this
Okay.
running down this alleyway, and you know, maybe being such a crack shot, you can hit that lamp.
Yeah, because I'm going to take my pistol, and then as my sharpshooter, I'm going to focus really hard to get that precise shot
He's
beyond the
going to
pistol's
fail
range.
fundamentally
Okay.
and kill a shadow warden, isn't he?
No, so yeah, so what's the outcome that you're looking for here? Now, I can imagine, I can suggest something to you. I'm thinking that you're going to shoot this lamp.
Yep.
The oil's going to kind of stream out onto this thing and kind of spring
Yes.
up like a fire in front of these
That-
guys and block the path.
That's what I want. No death,
That's what we're doing.
no harm,
Yeah.
just a
Unless
distraction.
they don't stop.
I'm loving it. Yeah. So let's say that's what you're going to do. You can see this.
Yeah.
Come on,
What
one.
ability? What are you using? You're using sharpshooter. So.
Yes.
What does that give you? That's going to cost you 2 stress. Do you realise?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, there we go. And what ability will you be using? As if I can't guess.
My sharpshooter ability, yes.
Yeah, and your what ability you like under
Oh,
hunt, study, survey, tinker, finesse, swig, etc.
it would be hunt, wouldn't it? It'd be that dead eye shot on the.
Yeah, I think it probably is. I think it probably is. Now, and now in this situation,
Yes.
you're attacking at extreme range, so it's going to cost you 2 stress, which you've just done.
Yes.
It's extreme range for a pistol anyway. It's quite a way down the alleyway.
Yep.
This I'm thinking it's going to be. You get to kind of help out with this one because I think the effect you'll be after would be great.
Yes.
Which means that I think this roll will be desperate.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now the cool thing is, of course, you get to then put a flash in your.
It's getting all the flashes
insight.
today.
Yeah. You get to put a tick in insight, but this is going to be a desperate roll.
Do I put any ticks in my actual abilities?
You don't yet.
Just-
Once that block fills up, you can
So,
then assign a point.
It's
to it
desperate with effect great, yeah?
with a great effect. Yeah.
And I don't get any bonus die or anything.
Now, if anybody's got a good idea for a devil's bargain that we might be able to give him.
Oh, devil's
Now,
bargain.
the devil's bargain is basically it's going to be something that's going to happen regardless of whether you succeed or fail. But it will have some kind of detrimental effect to you.
Ricochet bullet.
There's a ricochet bullet. That's or like maybe a powder burn or something like that. Or perhaps
You
you are-
mutinoid.
perhaps you're going to be seen by one of these spirit wardens.
Yeah.
He won't necessarily recognise you,
Or he shoots a spirit warden in the foot.
No! No!
or shoot the spirit warden. Yeah. I'm thinking.
I was leaning towards the gunshot attracts the Death Seeker crows, actually. They're more likely to be on the roof than Spirit Wardens are.
Oh, okay.
If you get spotted by a crow searching for the body,
Does an even smaller crow come for the dead crow?
it's crows all the way down, mate.
I mean, I could do the. It could possibly do the thing like because he's trying to trigger a fire that like whether he succeeds or fails that maybe it blocks his route of escape. Like he'll achieve what he wants or not.
Are we really going down to make life difficult for him here?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want.
It adds a com- it adds a
I feel like I'm
complication
being
for him
ganged
trying
up on it, yeah.
Yeah, I think the complication. To me, I feel that somebody is going to see you leaning out of the window to take this shot, and they won't necessarily recognise you, but they will have your description.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Ours
yeah,
were far more
you
fun
don't
than
have
that,
to take
Mark.
that.
Jesus
You-
Christ.
You don't have to take that, but that if you do, that will give you a bonus die.
Just remember, if no one can report on you if they're all dead.
It's not working so far.
It's true. That is absolutely true. It's fact.
You know,
I love it. Like spirit
I don't
warden
think it's
commands.
worth
Like,
being
we need 5 wardens,
recognised.
now we need 5 crows. Something's gone terribly wrong.
I don't
Yeah, I
think-
say. I mean,
You don't
won't
have
be-
to take the
you
devil's
won't be
bargain.
recognised,
yeah,
but
it's-
somebody will have your description. They will, that you will have been seen, and
No, I don't.
so they won't immediately recognise you.
I won't. I'm not going to take this. I mean, it's heavily stacked against me, guys. You know, you didn't exactly give me some good ideas, but
I mean, it's a devil bargain. It's a devil's bargain. It's not supposed to be good.
I'm just going to go straight.
Okay, how about this for a
into it.
devil's bargain? Everything goes swimmingly and you escape
Oh,
unscathed.
yes! Yes, I'll have that. Thank you.
But I'll have 2 of those, please.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
One's okay.
It's not.
That was a 5.
It is. So,
It's a consequence.
reduced effect or a consequence. So, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
Should we do the reduced effects and give you an idea?
No!
Okay.
I think we're going to go. We're going to go with this reduced effect. So, the flames. You do it. You shoot the this almost impossible shot. You aim your gun. You take this shot. There's probably only a handful of people in the entire empire that could have made that shot. And you catch this lamp, and it falls to the ground, and the flames kind of spring up. However, to your dismay, you kind of realise that perhaps there's not that much oil in it. So it's not going to stop them, it's going to slow them down. And that's kind of where we're at. So they kind of, you see these guys as they're running forward, and then they kind of stop as these flames kind of spring up, but they die back down quite quickly.
Yeah, as soon as I see the fire go off, I'm going to turn and run in the same direction as Nicholas, but
Okay.
over the rooftops.
So you're going. Oh, you're going. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's it. Yeah, you run across the rooftops. Sure. So we go to. I've forgotten where we were. Nicholas. Let's say Nicholas and Slip.
No, Nicholas is on the rooftop.
No,
isn't he?
Nicholas.
No,
yeah,
Nicholas-
Nicholas is going. He's in the alley. He's running. Nicholas, you
That's me.
are sprinting down the alleyway carrying Casper's rifle. You are aware of a gunshot behind you again, and perhaps for a second or so, you're actually thinking somebody's shooting at you or firing at you. But then you hear some shouts from down the alleyway, and a quick glimpse back. You can kind of see these flames suddenly leap up, blocking the alleyway for just a moment. And perhaps you kind of catch the flames glittering off the gold masks of these kind of these spirit wardens that are in pursuit. But you know, you're out. You're kind of rushing down this alleyway carrying the gun. They are definitely slowed down. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and lose them in the... There was a small maze of alleyways around the townhouse, if I remember the
Yes.
map correctly.
Yes, yes, correct.
I'm going to try and jink through some quick corners to lose them. As soon as I am out of line of sight and I spot somewhere pretty dark, I'm
That's it.
reaching under my jacket and pulling out my shadow cloak and just tossing it over
Yep.
me.
Yep. Sure. So, sorry. Yeah. You duck and weave through some of these darkened alleys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little clock here, actually.
Oh no.
Um,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and basically this is going to be for all of you as well. But we're going to call this clock Escape the Spirit Warden.
I like it.
And I would like you. I think we need to make a roll of some kind, some description of how. I mean, the way you've described what you're doing, I kind of feel that I know what ability you are using here. I don't know if you agree with me. So, what ability are you using, Nicholas?
Getting away from them is finesse.
You
And
think?
then I'm hoping to duck down somewhere and use prowl.
I mean, you could just use.
I don't know if you
prowl.
want two rolls,
No.
is what I'm going with.
No, I think it's going to be one roll. I think personally, I think prowl is probably the
Yeah.
one that you would need to be making. And this is going to tick off a number of boxes. I think. So if you want to make a roll, I think this is going to be right now. I think this is going to be risky and standard again. Actually, no. Let's make it great because I think that Casper's slowing them down is going to make it more difficult. So I think you may.
Yeah.
You may
I'm
just
intending to
do-
use my shadow cloak anyway, so I'd say
I'll
it was
give you
great.
a bonus die for that.
Yeah. Rolling.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yay!
It's great effect. Yeah. I think that puts you. Sorry, I need to get the right bloody place. I think that puts us here. Yeah, and so you duck down through all of these alleyways. You drag your shadow cloak and cover yourself over as much as you can. there are plenty of shadows for you to hide in. The lights from these various different buildings around you kind of cast out light from the various windows in the alleyway, but they just create shadows for you to hide in. And you kind of duck and weave amongst all of these alleyways. You know that these guys are going to have a hard time tracking you down. We'll go to Slip.
Quick question. You know this clock?
Yes.
So, if we got to try and escape before it's fully filled in, or are you on
No,
it?
fully filled in means you've succeeded. So, and thinking about it, this is probably more for Nicholas, because Nicholas is the one that's being pursued at the moment by them. So, I don't think the rest of you need to worry too much about it, because I guess he's lured them away.
Okay.
But they're more interested in the body anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's if the blue coats show up that you're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's a relief. I couldn't
Okay,
really
cool.
run anyways.
Yeah. But it does appear that the spirit wardens have been distracted and lured away by Nicholas at this moment in time, who was doing a pretty good job evading them. So Slip.
I mean, can we just point out it was me that started that law by letting my gun fire off?
Yes, because you deliberately let it off.
After you started that law by dropping your rifle on the ground.
To the lamp.
I just
It was
think,
all a plan.
I just think a little credit, maybe.
You can explain it all to spirit wardens, mate.
Yeah. You make your way down the stairs until you reach the ground floor. You can hear moaning from inside the room where the little altercation had taken place. But the door to the cellar is open.
We're professionals. I just returned down the route that we came. And,
So you're going to go through. Okay, and I guess it won't be too long because they're moving perhaps a little bit slower. You will catch up with Solomon, who's looking a little bit pale at this moment in time. And he's been helped along a little bit by Ashlyn. But they seem to be descending into the cellar also, making their way through to the door at the back of the house.
Gliss has the book. He's jumped out the fucking window.
Well, let's hope he doesn't lose it.
Let's go.
Get back. Without
Going
drawing
as
attention
fast
to
as I can.
ourselves.
Okay, so you exit through the back. There seems to be some fire that's kind of burning in the alleyway here. I'm going to say it's probably burning to the right of you, which is means that your egress from the alley is clear. It seems to have died down quite a bit. It's just kind of a few flames now that are kind of licking down on the ground. So it looks like some oil lamp has fallen and smashed and created a bit of a conflagration down in the alleyway there. But it's mostly kind of died down now. There's no sign of Nicholas. There's no sign of Casper.
Where the hell are they? Come on.
You perhaps catch the sight of perhaps some gold glinting armor or whatever disappearing down a side alley.
I think we should just get clear and we can rendezvous with him at the meeting point.
He can look after himself. Let's go.
And so you make your way down the alley unchallenged and out onto the street. It's all quiet out there. There's still that strange kind of whispering on the wind that you first noticed when you kind of entered into Six Towers.
Are the bells still ringing?
The bell is still ringing. Casper, you're on the roof.
Yes.
You're running across the rooftops. You can see these figures below and behind you that seem to be kind of searching the alleyway. And they kind of stop for a moment, kind of looking around as if they're not entirely sure where this figure's gone.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody say, "That's not why we're here."
Are they still searching, or are they looking like they're moving somewhere else?
They kind of seem to be moving off. High above, you kind of catch a glimpse of a crow that seems to be kind of circling above one of the buildings, kind of further back. And you can see this figure kind of looks up and he kind of observes it, and he kind of taps the other one on the shoulder, and they move back down the alleyway.
So they're all leaving. There's not one of them staying or anything.
You know there were 3 of them that arrived, but you only see 2 of them in the alley there.
Ooh, Casper's gonna try and find the third one then.
Okay. How's Casper going to do that?
He's going to ask Umbra to find him.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you want Umbra to basically go hunt the third...
Not hunt. Just
now,
stalk.
you do have a slight issue here in the fact that Umbra
is still weak.
One of its flaws is savage.
Yes.
And although he's loyal, right?
But he's loyal, so he wouldn't if I asked him not.
Do you think?
No, he wouldn't savage you.
No, it's
yeah, he's loyal, but he is savage.
He's dangerous
So
if I let the leash off.
I guess that it's one of those things. If you told it to kill something,
it would go. It would take that to yeah.
Yeah.
It would stretch.
Or if
rules.
you just told somebody to stop something,
yes. It would stretch the rules. But if I just say locate him, there's not much rule stretching there.
Yeah. That's
no, he's
right.
not unpredictable. Cry.
No, he's not. He's not unpredictable.
I might be.
Yeah. So Umbra kind of, your shadow once again in the moonlight on top of this roof. It kind of detaches itself from you, and kind of crawls a little bit slower than normal across the rooftop and stretches itself out across, and then kind of slinks away off into the night. You yourself.
Yep.
What are you wanting to do yourself?
I am going to attempt to locate Nicholas to make sure he's safe.
Okay.
So I'll know which way he's kind of gone, and I'll kind of from the rooftops try and see if I can spot him at any point.
Yeah, sure. Are you? I mean, you guys are professionals, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of assuming
Are we?
that maybe
So we've not shown much of that. So
that maybe you will have. Would you have arranged like a meeting point or something like that, perhaps at the end of a heist or somewhere
Yes.
that you might.
This
meet
is
up?
something I was going to flashback to when it came up, actually.
Oh, okay.
Of-
Should we skip to that quickly then, right now, so that
We
we
can
can
do.
deal with that? Yeah. Okay. So, Nicholas ducked down in an alley. You want to flashback?
And
Okay. So,
just sort of as we were planning during the periods when we split up and tried to prepare things in various locations, some of us looked for intel, some of us scouted the area.
Yeah,
that's right.
Me and Nicholas scouted this whole area.
You
Yes.
certainly did.
We came
So
here
I
to scout the area, and
Yeah.
my flashback was going to be we came here on our boat and it's parked in a canal in the saltwater, which is our escape route.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to decide whether or not that's going to cost you any stress. I don't think that's going to cost you any stress. That seems like a really.
Told us at some point
Right?
before
Yeah.
that we'd be parking in that area.
Okay. I don't think that's going to cost anything. I don't think that's much to ask. It's just having a boat, right? And that's handy in a canal nearby.
We would
It
be
doesn't seem
professional enough to
unreasonable.
have a getaway at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
let's go with that. Yeah. So I'm going to go with. I think we need just. Are you alright, Ange?
That gin was strong.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So I think we should say Nicholas, because somebody has seen you leaving this scene. The spirit wardens aren't generally worried about criminal activity and that. They're more interested in retrieving these dead bodies. So I'm going to say that clock should have been a 4 o'clock and you've completed it.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of that. And you are hidden, and you've managed to make your way to this boat that you had hidden away in the canal, not too far away. I guess over here somewhere, maybe. And so that's kind of where you find yourself, burying yourself under a tarpaulin, perhaps, to evade being seen.
Toss the rifle under a tarp. I'll just sort of sit in the boat and look like I'm napping. Just so it doesn't look like there's an idle boat. It's just someone being lazy.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I guess Casper, that's where you will find. That's where you'll find Nicholas. Your boat kind of moored up in the Soul Water there.
As soon as
and numerous other kind of boats, kind of that are kind of tied to the side of the river, the canal here, but you recognise your own very much straight away, and you can see a figure seated in it.
As soon as I see a figure in it, I'm going to assume it's Nicholas, because the others would still be behind us at this point. So I would make a signal for Umbra to return, and then make my way down to the boat.
Okay. I don't know how you communicate with Umbra.
I whistle in a really high pitch.
Is that how it works?
Well, the certain
Every dog in the area is here to pick up.
I have certain communications, but like when it's at distance, like the return is just like a.
This could be any weird kind of way that you may be using telepathy or something. I don't know.
I assume it's long distance, so I'm trying to keep it to some degree. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Umbra is capable of kind of finding its way back to your hideout if necessary, I guess. If that's what you wanted. You could tell it to maybe meet you back there. Your boat is moored up. There is the figure sitting in front of it, looking asleep. You recognise it as Nicholas.
Yep.
The boat there is moored up. And he's... it appears to be asleep. But probably you know better. You know him better than that, maybe.
Sleeping on the...
Yep. I will knowingly assume what the plan is to why he's doing that. I will just quickly slump onto the boat and also take up like a resting position, but to keep my eyes down the pathway from where up and down the moorings.
Sure. So the two of you just kind of sit there.
I'll just crack my eyes open and make sure it's not just some random that's fall onto my board.
Yeah, that's right. And you kind of see Casper kind of settle into a seat on the boat there. And the bell stops tolling after a few minutes. You assume that perhaps the spirit ones have found what they were looking for.
Phew.
Right.
Do you think the others made it safe then?
I mean, the plan was to meet up here. If they're not here, I don't know.
So, we'll cut back then to Slip, Ashlyn, and Solomon as they've made their way out of the house.
What sort of
There
state
are-
is Solomon in? Because he was getting carried, or
No, he's being helped along.
Trained. So
Yeah.
he's got like I imagine it's probably like someone who's kind of ill, where they kind of like walking takes effort.
Hmm.
He's just like used all of his energy getting rid of that ghost, so he's just exhausted.
Hmm. Yeah.
so I
So,
help Ashlyn. I kind of try and speed up the
We need
The
to get to the
exit.
meeting point.
yeah,
It's not
you know
far.
that the boat is not too far away. You just have to kind of cut through a few alleyways. The spirit ones seem to have lost interest in pursuing any people. And you make your way back to the boat without any effort whatsoever, except for helping.
There's my
Poor,
last chance to get a desperate
Solomon.
roll.
And you kind of see this boat moored up exactly where Casper and Nicholas said it would be. There are
Look
two
at those
figures-
lazy bastards having a sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what appears to be the case. Two people in a boat who may be resting their eyelids at this moment in time.
I could use a sleep right now.
You look like shit.
Well, you look pretty cute as well.
Did we get it? Where is it?
I assume so.
Yeah, so by the time you reach the boat and you recognise Casper and Nicholas that are waiting there, you know that, or Slip knows that Nicholas had the book.
Nicholas, they're
I
here.
go over,
Right.
kick his. Yeah, if he doesn't wake up, I kick his chair. But if he does wake up, I ask.
Yeah.
Have you
As
got
soon as
the
I know
book?
they're coming, I'll hop up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
got it.
Yeah, as Slip asks, I'll just motion towards my jacket and I'll clamber over to the back of the boat and get ready to pull the boat away.
Okay. And you pole the boat along through the canal.
While they're doing that, I'm going to ask them, did you look at the book? What are they so interested in this book?
Charts, naval charts of some kind. I didn't recognise the provenance here. I'll take it out of my pocket and hand it across.
Yeah, and so there's this kind of journal that's kind of wrapped in this like an oilskin cloth. You open it. I don't think Ashlyn has any kind of experience with
No.
naval charts or at least nautical charts, and so you can see it's maps, which is kind of what you were expecting. It's a map book. You do see there's a sigil or a crest on the just inside the cover of the book. Whether or not you recognise it,
I don't know. I just passed it over and say, this means nothing to me. Does anybody else? This seems an awful lot of trouble for a map book. Does anyone recognise this motif, this sigil? And I pass it around.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking because of the nature of what Ashlyn is,
Oh,
and she kind of hobnobs a little bit, doesn't she? She's
yeah, I do.
Yeah. So out of any of you, I think Ashlyn is probably the one that would be more likely to recognise this. And you recognise that maybe as the sigil for the Strangford family. Lord Strangford, you all know, is a member of the city council.
This is Lord Strangford's sigil. You know, the guy from the city council.
If you say so.
So, it was stolen from him at the brothel?
It was stolen from someone
on
at the brothel.
Yeah.
And somebody's trying to get it back to him? Or they stole it from him For a
We
reason.
assume that he's the mutual acquaintance. For all we know, it could be some like heirloom that's been handed down or sold off. Could be
No,
someone's old gambling debt.
this was being given to someone who wants it. Maybe it's blackmail. Maybe that's being used for blackmail.
Does it matter to us? It's a job, we get paid.
Exactly.
We could
4
copy.
coin.
Casper's going to turn to Nicholas when all this discussion sorted and just be, I assume if you don't have it, you've stashed it somewhere.
What do I not have? Sorry. Out of character. Yes.
Bang.
Gotcha. Yes. Sorry, I lost track then. I'm still pulling the boat, but Nicholas will motion towards one of the tarps that's lying over something. Under there. Don't pull it out in the canal, obviously, but under there.
Thank you.
Also, try not to drop it next time.
One problem we have got is that he did see us. He knows who we are.
Who saw you?
That's not very professional.
What can you do about that?
Well,
Umbra!
I don't know why. I don't. If we'd had the chance and the bells weren't already ringing, we could have dealt with him. I could have mesmerised him. But we're having to. And I could have I could have used trance powder on him and mesmerised him to forget what happened. But unfortunately, for some reason the bells were going off, and we had to move quick. And then he did produce some kind of ghost, something I didn't get to. Solomon, what did you see? What was it? Solomon.
If you are talking, you are muted. If you're not talking, you are maybe not muted.
What did you see? What was that thing that he brought forward?
It was a ghost of some sort. Something horrible and twisted. It was a lot more powerful than I anticipated. But I was able to banish it.
The consequences now are that he saw us. He knows who we are. So if he's working, whoever he's working for, will now bring some heat on us. But we get credit with the guys.
I did try to throw some aspersions away from us. So with any luck, that at least had some effect, and we'll throw them off the scent.
I can have a word with somebody, not connected to us. I'll make him go away.
Need to get this book back. Get the pay.
Then we can lay low for a while if we need to.
Sure. And so, perhaps it's the following evening that you find yourself back at the Spark Grounds. Once again, the high wire act is wowing the crowds. The strange kind of hang gliders that are attracting the lightning from the lightning barrier, striking it and lighting up the sky like fireworks as these things kind of glide through it. The huge crowds kind of all gathered around and oohing and ahhing at these various different sites. And you kind of move through into the rover camp where you had met Emrys Boyle in the tent. Yeah, and we'll take a little break there then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the payoff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go for
Yeah.
a wee.
Alright.
So, go get yourselves a drink, have a break,
Okay.
and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
60 minutes.
Farewell.
Fuck.
Stop tempting fate.
you just...
Why?
Clearly, nobody here can count.
What is wrong with you?
Hello, everybody.
We've been locked up for a month. You've got to give us some letting our hair down.
Oh dear. Welcome
No,
back.
too
I
much.
binge watched Netflix. I watched
Oh, you
everything.
poor dear.
I watched that whole thing. What was that?
Just,
That one
just,
thing I watched.
just
that
you and like
Bridgerton.
90% of the
Bridgerton. I
Western
watched
world.
the whole
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. I watched
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. I watched the
Bridgerton,
whole of that.
yeah.
I watched the whole of Sky's Discovery of Witches.
That looked shit. That really did.
And if you cared
Sorry,
about that,
Uh,
then message Ange and let her know that you're also interested,
Yeah.
and she'll tell you what didn't actually happen because you probably fell asleep during it.
Yeah, there was an awful lot of that
Surprisingly-
going on at the same time.
Surprisingly, it turned out they only discovered witches in 1967. Everything before then is a fabrication.
I know. I've been watching that Origins on Netflix, and it wants me, Keen, if you watch this, hurry up. I want to be a vampire again.
Next week.
Is it next week? Hurry up, Keen.
Next
Sunday.
week.
A week on Sunday.
Ooh, that's not
For
good
World
kicking
of
off.
Darkness.
Yes, World
So-
of Darkness.
So okay, back to the vampire thing, which we will be playing next week
Next week on Sunday.
Yeah.
Here,
on
maybe.
Sunday. Discovery of Witches is about vampires.
But
And
it's
witches.
about witches.
No, it's about vampires, witches, and demons.
But it's called Discovering Witches.
But it's about.
Why did your whole body
Use the
shake
better-
up and down violently then? It was like you were possessed. Oh, dear. Yeah.
I mean, a quick review of Discovery of Witches. Ange said it's all right.
Was it good?
And if that's not a recommendation, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't exclusively about vampires. I only got a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Watch
That's what
Discovery
how
of
she
Witches.
rates most programs. Like, I watched the season of The Expanse, but there were no vampires, so I stopped watching it.
Yeah. I like The Expanse. Series 1. Yeah. I can,
No
Bit
vampires.
slow. It starts off a bit slow. By about episode 4, it's
No
picked up a
spoilers,
bit.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then now I'm like,
Watch out, there's
I'm
a
actually like
station.
now on a Wednesday going to Mark. Is it Expanse Day?
Oh, dear.
It's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
Wednesday.
I love Expanse. Absolutely brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Anyway, you didn't come
I-
here to listen to a load of old people talk about what they're doing with their lives during lockdown.
Excuse me.
You came here to... yes.
That's all right. Is
Yes.
anybody actually listening?
That was a great segue.
You came here to watch a brilliant game of Blades in the Dark, hosted by some old pirate, and we're going to get back to that. So, onwards with the show. Thank you. If you're interested in any of that, please message Ange and tell her how boring she is with her choice on TV. Onwards!
Actually, I object to that because Expanse is brilliant.
Onwards!
Anyway,
I was ill.
the following evening, you were at the Spark Grounds. You make your way through to the tent where you had first met your contact, Emrys Boyle, who had sent you off on this little mission. And you've sent word out through your various contacts, your little network, that you've retrieved this book. And so you make your way to the rather lavish tent in the rover camp where you had met him originally. And as usual, there are two rather burly-looking guards standing outside. And the small boy Paco, who had led you here. Led you here. The show must go on. Who had led you into the tent in the first place? Technical difficulty. Page immediately.
We're back.
You rank bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, no. Professionalism. That's what we demand. That's what we demand here.
We had a long break.
You enter the tent. Emrys Boyle is kind of relaxing again on some cushions, looking every bit like one of those old-timey Roman emperors. And he gestures you in. Offers you wine. Please, take a seat, he says. I hear you were successful in your endeavors.
Yes.
I take a wine from him.
Yeah, the
I'll
young lad
pass.
Paco, he's kind of handing these glasses of wine around on his silver tray to all of you.
No, thank you.
I'm standing
Well-
again at the door, just watching.
Yeah, that makes sense for Slip. Where is it?
Who's got it?
Yeah, and I will
Nicholas
that
has
it is
it.
returned to its rightful owner.
Seems a lot of interest in this one book.
Well, that's neither your concern nor mine.
No. You have the money? The gold?
Of course. I believe it was 5 coin, was it not?
Check the notes.
As far as I recall, it was 4
Oh.
coin, and then Ashlyn negotiated.
Oh, she negotiated.
Yeah, we got a bonus. Yeah.
But I didn't write down my negotiations.
That's very decent of you. 5 coin, yep.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with 5 coin.
He's cutting us.
Yeah. It's like it's conning us by giving us more money.
And so, yeah, a bag is brought through, and if somebody cares to count, it's
1,
correct.
2, 3, 4,
5. Yeah, there's 5 good.
Remember, folks, that the term coin is it's an abstract in this game, and a coin is equivalent to a month's salary for your average person. But hey, he takes the book from you. I'm assuming he's being given the book.
Hopefully.
You're really quiet there.
Move your
Yeah,
mic
have
down.
you moved your mic?
Hey, Dari.
Kadari? You're like the borrowers.
Like crazy quiet. Do we need another technical difficulties?
No.
No.
He passes me
It
the
means
book.
we can roleplay for him.
He passes me the book and I hand it over.
He grumbles something that we don't quite hear.
Yeah. Fine.
Volume test.
Yes, that's much
That's-
better.
There you
much
go.
better.
That's better.
Apologies. I tried to do something in the break and it did not work.
No worries. Yeah, so you exchange the book for your coin. I'm sure our mutual friend will be most appreciative.
Well, we certainly hope so.
I'm sure Strangford would appreciate it.
Is that it then? Are we done?
Yeah, when Ashlyn mentions Strangford's name, he looks down, and he kind of laughs. I suppose it was inevitable that you would have a look inside. I suppose you needed to be sure that you had the right book, yes?
Well, obviously. Could have got you any old book. Could have got you a knitting book.
Well, I'm sure you understand that your discretion is required, and that the Strangford family will not be mentioned at all in regards to this matter.
Of course. But that goes both ways.
I assure you, I have no intention of revealing him as being connected to this book 4. The incident that happened in Six Towers last night.
The person we relieved this book from, does he share your idea of being discreet?
Well, if he knows what's good for him. If not, well, I guess he gets what's coming.
Be happy to take that opportunity, should it arise.
Well, whoever deals with him will probably he won't find it quite easy to chase him down.
Yes. Still, as I say, we appreciate your discretion in this matter. And unless you have anything further, I would bid you good day.
Just walk away. Business is business.
I will walk via the wine tray and get another glass of wine on the way out.
Okay. Well, there's one left because
I didn't take one.
because Solomon didn't take one, and you take that, drain it before placing it back on the tray, I guess.
Yes, I'll leave the glasses. I'm not uncivilized.
Yeah. It's like, I realised my glass was poisoned.
Yeah. All poison. And you step out of the tent into the night. Now, we for those people that have not played Blades in the Dark before, we're going to move into a phase of the game now, which is known as downtime. And downtime is part of the game where our characters can relieve some of the stress that they've built up during the heist. We can find out how much heat they have generated in the particular heist that they've just been through, and any entanglements and fallout that may occur because of that. And so we are going to move. I think the first thing we're going to do, we're going to find out what heat was generated by the crew. There you go. There's a structure. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I don't know where your downtime is either. Okay. So heat. So we got a heat track on the crew sheet, which is here, and if you might have to open that up yourself there.
Yep.
So yeah, so we have this heat track that goes across the top here, and as the heat builds up on the crew, eventually they can achieve like a wanted level, which means that the forces of law and order are actively seeking them at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, but we're going to work out what heat. So, for this particular heist, what we're going to look at is how much heat we generated. Are you alright, Ange?
Too much gin.
Right. So, in terms of this heist, would you say it was smooth and quiet, low exposure?
Yes!
Would you say it was plain to standard exposure? Would you say it was loud and chaotic high exposure? Or wild, devastating exposgoing?
Well, it was only exposure within the house we were in, so it didn't
Apart
seem.
from the flames outside and the fire going off.
Not a lot of like Yeah, but the thing is, how much can they actually tie back to us?
Well, they did see Ange. They
more
did,
exposure.
you know,
They
they did see Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashlyn. Well, they've seen Ashlyn. I mean,
Yeah, but
late
he might
that's a
not
big
grass
giveaway.
me up because he stole the book in the first place. So
Yeah, you might not want to wrap
We
that
never
out
took
to the
anything
cops.
else.
Yeah, especially after he's been like hamstrung, so he can't run away from anyone who comes after him. It's like, I don't know, unless he becomes like a wheelchair detective and comes after us.
So
he's
he wasn't particularly high profile or well connected target, so you're not going to get the +1 for that. However, if killing is involved, there is a +2 heat that is generated for that. We definitely did have a killing.
It was more of an accidental roof slip, I think.
Yeah, it's
Accidental mauling.
accidental tearing to pieces. Right, yeah.
Is it possible to allocate heat to party members?
No, it affects everyone. So I mean, so Croy, you were thinking it was kind of contained. in
Yeah,
general?
I think so. In general, it didn't spill out into the street. We got out and then quickly without anybody really noticing us other than the people inside the house. So I don't know what trouble the fence would create because of the reasons what other people have said. Yeah, I don't think it was. It wasn't like, and I know what it can be like when we don't achieve that same status and we have hundreds of people in the street dying. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't mind it. I think yes, all right. Let's go for contained standard exposure, and then hope that we just get better from here.
yeah. There's no buildings blowing up or anything, was there?
Yeah, that's sort of very unusual.
So for us, it's a success.
It was a success anyway. So it's going to be 2 heat basically is what you will generate from this particular
Yeah.
high, +2 heat because somebody died.
So it's 2 + 2, so we're at 4 so far.
4 heat.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, but that's not too
Is that on
shabby.
the
is
cruise ship?
it is.
Yeah.
I've added it.
Yeah. And so there's going to be some kind of entanglement, something that's going to occur here. And what this is going to involve is which one of your contacts do you think is going to be dragged in by the blue coats and interrogated? This is now.
Well, it can't be either of mine. Because one's a ghost and one's a spirit warden, so... I mean, it was difficult.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's say... Okay, it doesn't... who's your vice purveyor?
Oh, mine was, he's addicted to the ghost field, because it was a weird...
Yeah,
I don't really know how he would...
yeah. So there's some way that you would have a vice purveyor that would kind of
Yeah,
provide
look the
you
other way.
with your vice. That's kind of generally how it works. I think
Yeah. Maybe that's how he's got the rival as the spirit warden guy, because maybe there's like someone lower down he knows that kind of looks the other way, because I'd imagine the spirit wardens also maintain the fence.
right.
So maybe someone there who knows who looks the other way so he can have access.
Yeah, because it kind of makes sense to me that it's one of Solomon's
Yeah,
contacts on account of the fact that you were the one that made that roll and left something behind which kind of identified. So you said it was like a spirit bane thing or a demon bane.
demon bane charm. Yeah,
So does Solomon get these from somewhere or someone in particular, perhaps? So
Yeah.
maybe this is the person that that provides you with your
potentially you could have.
yeah, which would kind of make a little bit of sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's a ducks.
Yeah. Now I thought I'd created vice example. So what do we got here? Yours is weird, isn't it?
Yes.
And the kind of examples they've provided here is the hooded proprietor of a half-flooded grotto tavern near the dock. Strange passageways lead to a strange chambers beyond.
Yeah, that
far
one
beyond-
works. 'Cause-
Yeah?
yeah, that works because he kind of grew up on the docks, so like that's where I think his contact would be.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like
So-
someone who's got like a weird sort of spirit-based sort of like hidden
Yeah.
away.
Okay. So you can have a think about that at some point in the future.
Yeah,
But he is going to be the person that has provided you with these charms,
yeah,
and has been identified
yeah,
through these charms by whoever has investigated this assault on the person in Six Towers in their house and this robbery. Now these people are they likely to be particularly underworldy, as in kind of dealing with the law and being able to resist them when they interrogate, or do you think they're kind
Yeah.
of
yeah. I imagine what I'd probably imagine like the disruption would be is like because it's all that kind of like they like maybe their shops in like a place that you can't like normal people can't access or whatever. That basically when they find out the law is closing in, they just sort of like close all the entrances down. But so the
Right.
problem is that has a knock-on effect that everyone else who would have used them can't use their services either, potentially,
Yeah.
where they've just gone underground.
Okay. So I mean, you've got a choice here then, Solomon. I think. Basically, somebody has to volunteer. A friend or vice purveyor is a person that's likely to be taken in by the blue coats
Yeah.
and interrogated in question.
Yeah.
And you think likely to be your vice purveyor, yeah?
Yeah,
So the way this kind of works is that we make a fortune roll to see whether they talk,
yeah,
or whether they are harmed in some way, or you can actually pay them off. Pay off the blue coats with
Yeah.
one coin cost to kind of get them to leave your vice purveyor alone. So that's a decision that you can make as a
Yeah.
group, or if you're willing to pay it yourself, this one coin.
yeah. Well, how much coin would I have individually?
Well, you've just got 5 coin as a gang.
So I guess we get one each kind of thing.
One each and one spare.
Yeah, you can put,
Well, no,
you
yeah,
get to
one each,
put
sorry.
stuff-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5 of us.
And then one would be in your stash for your crew, I guess, in that regard.
Hmm.
So I mean, you could do that, or you can roll and see
Yeah.
what happens.
I mean, what happened? Because that's the thing is like, it'll be the only coin we have. It's like if I use my own coin and had no coin, what kind of knock-on effect does that have?
It basically, I mean, coin it's a very abstract thing.
Yeah. So this means I wouldn't be able to like acquire stuff or.
Yeah, it makes when you do downtime, you can do your vice purveying stuff. You get 2 attempts at doing something with your downtime.
Yeah.
And pay a coin to get an extra thing. And your downtime, you can basically reduce your stress by visiting your vice purveyor. You can reduce your heat. You can describe in what way it is that you go
Yeah.
actively go and seek out some way of removing heat. Or you can carry out a long-term project, like if you wanted to investigate or research something,
Yeah.
you can do that in your downtime.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I would use my share. I'll do the paying off just because I'll take responsibility for it.
Hey, okay, that's
So-
that's cool.
I'll pay that off.
Sure.
Whatever share I got, I guess.
That's cool. So yeah, there would have been a scene then, I guess, where your vice purveyor, this hooded
Yeah.
character, would have been dragged out of his half-flooded grotto by a team of bluecoats because they've identified this this charm that got
Yeah.
left behind, and he would have been taken and interrogated, and somehow Solomon has heard about this, and
Pay off someone to kind of maybe to remove the charm from the evidence locker or whatever. So they're like, well, we know it was there, but we don't have it anymore. Yeah.
You can pay. The blue coats are notoriously corrupt.
Yeah.
And so you can have approached a blue coat and said, this person has nothing to do with this,
Yeah.
this coin, and put it to the retired blue coats fund or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and say no more. And what we could probably do is in future maybe we can role play these kind of scenes out a little
deals
next
out,
time.
yeah.
In terms of the fact that because this is the first time we've done it, and that's kind of the situation we go through. We have an entanglement after every time we've worked out the heat the crew has gathered. We will have an entanglement which may affect, depending on your heat and your wanted level. Something will happen, and you will have to deal with it as a crew. And in this case, it just happens that this poor old hooded purveyor has been dragged in.
Yeah.
But Solomon has heard about it and has arranged for it to be dealt with. Excellent. So, as I say, we're going to go into this thing. We're going to do some downtime activities here now. And in downtime activities, you've got there are two things you can do, or you have two opportunities to do something, each of you. One is to reduce stress, which you do by visiting your vice purveyor. We'll make a roll to see how much stress you reduce, or whether you overindulge, and the like. Now, I don't know who wants to go first with their downtime activities. Is anybody?
I mean, I don't mind going first. Mine's simple one. My vice is luxury.
Right. Okay. So, what is it that Ashlyn does, then? Do you think?
She goes to the posh, rich side of town, and
That's like Brightstone or whatever.
yeah, and wanders around until she finds an expensive-looking new ring, because she wants to always look the best. She wants to look expensive.
And this is the thing that she basically wants to kind of show everybody that she moves in these kind of rich circles, and that she's not just a poor street orphan with big ideas.
So she's going to go shopping, and she's going to either look for more jewellery or some more clothes that would fit in the circles she wants to move into.
Okay, so it's kind of clothing or something like that, just something like a status symbol that she's kind of interested in, more of like her appearance than anything else. I mean, it's not like she goes, right, okay.
I mean, when she's in the shop, she acts the part.
She just goes to the fanciest kind of boutiques or whatever in town, and she will splurge with her ill-gotten gains. Okay, so this is where we're going to do a roll for your vice.
Okay, you have to remind me.
Yeah, I've got to remind myself.
Do I roll vice?
No. From these sheets aren't quite as cool as the Roll20 ones, but so to indulge your vice, you roll on what's that they say is your weakest quality, and in your case that would be insight, because you have no dots in that first column.
Okay.
Under insight.
So roll insight.
Yeah.
The risky stand. How does it roll?
Just roll
Troll.
risky standard. It doesn't matter because it's the numbers we're after here.
No extra dice.
No, I don't think so.
Shit.
Because
So
it
you
rolls 2
reduce-
lowest.
Yeah, you're going to reduce 2 stress
Okay.
with that roll.
Okay.
So you spend an inordinate amount of time strolling through the streets of Brightston or Night Market and looking for these these clothes and trinkets that basically make you look above your status, I guess, is the deal here. Now, I don't know if any of the other characters know that Ashlyn's background, or whether she's kept that from them and basically just puts up this appearance of the rich girl that has plenty of money and moves in these higher echelons of society.
Well, I think they'd know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because you don't live there.
No, I think no.
I suppose it's part of the act, though, isn't it? That we know that you do that in a way to, make yourself more helpful
Yeah,
to
and they've
seduce
seen
people.
me put on different personas in different situations as well. So
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of Ashley. Is there any what other downtime activity would you want? You can actually do that again if you want. You can spend both of your downtime actions reducing stress if you want. The thing is, if
I've got no
you-
healing, so normally it's normally some stress, and the other one could be you've got healing, and I'm going to healing, so
You
I'll
can
do
do
it
that.
again.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. Yes, you can. Sorry, yeah, you can do healing or
Yeah.
recovering from wounds or stress or reduce heat or.
What the bejeebus?
That's all right.
I mean, very likely to always fail with these rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've reduced 3 stress with that.
That's cool. I'm down to no stress.
Yeah, you see, if you'd have rolled higher than 3, you would have overindulged, and that means
Yeah.
that something else would have happened, which could have increased heat or
Yeah.
caused you
No,
a problem
I
with you.
literally had 3 left. So.
So that was pretty much perfect.
Woo!
So
Close
that's
call.
your 2 downtime activities out of the way.
Yeah, I'm done.
Um,
I will do that, and then I come back to the lair with bags of trinkets and things and
Swanky clothes.
yeah, and almost like change my image again just to fit into the next thing. So yeah, that's me done.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Casper will go next.
Don't all shout out. That was-
Yeah. Casper likes to gamble, and specifically, he likes to go to the dark alley gambling. He's not like the big shot casino. He's the back alley 3-cup sort of gambling guy.
Oh, okay. Kind of fast and loose kind of stuff with potentially big stakes.
Yeah, not always
Oh.
money stakes. Sometimes like information stakes, and the stuff that you wouldn't ever get on a table at a casino or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, so is there a particular place that he likes to go? I guess is it in the area of the docks and near where you're all
Yeah,
based? Or is
he's
it somewhere
usually around the docks area. There's always a sailor, who's around, sort of thing, who he can try and con and.
Yeah, there's an inn. It's kind of the Sloop Inn down near on the waterfront there, and you kind of see there's multiple ships kind of all harboured at the docks, and one of the large Leviathan hunter ships is there. It's kind of smokestacks kind of towering above all the buildings around. You can see it from streets away. This thing, it's that big. And the sloop overlooks. Perhaps it doesn't overlook. It's kind of near the waterfront, but down one of the dark alleys. And its owner is one Alexander Tuck. And he runs this small gambling den out in the back of the shop. He sees you as you enter. A big broad grin crosses his very round face. His thinning hair is kind of greying now, but he's and he kind of gestures across to you, as you enter, and he's like, "Ooh, more of the same, is it, Mr. Farrow? Fairly big stakes out back there at the moment."
Is there a spare seat?
"There's always a seat for you, Mr. Farrow, you know that."
Very good. Let's go fishing.
And he kind of gestures around the back. He'll lift up the bar, and you slip through into a small, darkened room at the back. There's a group of sailor types sat around a small table that's kind of piled high with coin, and the guy comes in behind you. Tuck comes in behind you and brings a seat, and he kind of wedges it in between where all these people are sat, and he just says, "Mr. Tuck is here to play. Mr. Farrow is here to play. Gem is here to play." And he shoves the seat.
Because this is the best interesting thing when he gambles, because he's one of his features is his eyes are pure white. It makes it almost impossible when he's sat at a close table like this for anyone to even know where he's looking.
Interesting. So I think then that you are going to make a roll, and for you, this will be based on your resolve.
Yes.
And you're going to it's just going to roll it as risky standard, and we're going to see how many stress you can clear with your marathon game. You're going to clear 4 stress. Now, is that more than the stress that you have currently?
Yeah, I only have 2.
Yeah. So excellent. So,
He enjoyed that too much.
I did.
Excellent.
It
he
was really
says.
fun.
yeah. So what has happened now is that Caspar Farrow has overindulged in his vice.
Uh-oh.
Which,
So it's me, isn't it? It's just...
So, something is going to happen while Caspar gets carried away, effectively, with this. He's kind of going through his usual game, and something happens. You make a bad call because of your vice, or while you're under its influence, and so it says here to bring the effect of this bad decision into the game, select an overindulgence from the list. Now, what we've got here is you attract trouble, so that may cause you some extra issue with the law or another gang, for example. Perhaps you brag about your last heist, your last score.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Perhaps you just disappear for a few weeks, which probably isn't the best idea right now.
Okay, no.
Or,
Then they disappear for 55 days.
yeah, or perhaps you, because of your overindulgence, you have some kind of fallout or disagreement with your vice purveyor, and he cuts you off.
I would
Now,
probably say that maybe as he overindulged, he maybe these sailors that he's clearly had a good run against may think that maybe he was cheating or something, and it causes trouble with them.
okay. So do you think there's maybe this kind of involves violence, or does it involve?
It could do.
I mean, it could increase your heat. Potentially.
Please don't.
What are the options again?
Or
I feel like I've thrown the team under the bus enough lately.
Yeah.
Lately.
We come out and find out we've got like a wanted level and no one really understands why. By the way, we haven't seen the new guy for several weeks. Apparently, he's been taken in by the police. He's just telling them literally everything.
Maybe then that still like the sailor, these people are not happy with it. Maybe they not necessarily go into like an outright fight or something, but maybe they speak to my rival, who happens to be a bounty hunter, and maybe they bump into him and a bit disgruntled. They may.
That seems a bit tame.
They may order a hit on me. Is that what you wanted?
Let's.
I don't know.
I think, you're kind of sat there and you're playing. Is it cards? Is that way he plays, or does he play anything in particular, dice or something? What's his game? What does Casper like to do?
It's more on the cards, yeah.
Cards, okay. And does he cheat, or is he an honourable player?
He has been he may have, his shadow maybe slip him the odd card.
So, I guess something happens. Anyway, for some reason, Casper, maybe you get a little bit carried away. You get a bit overconfident, perhaps, as you're kind of playing these games, and it's only you've been winning. You've been winning well, and these guys have been starting to get a little bit pissed off anyway as you're kind of going through this. And it's just a moment where one of them kind of just catches a glimpse under the table and sees a card drop under your chair, which causes him to kind of stand up, and he starts hurling insults at you, calling you a liar and a cheat and what's going on here. And he kind of brings this card up in front of you, and that's when the other guys get up and the fight breaks out, and they beat the living shit out of you, and I think
you got your ass kicked.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna say you're gonna take. I think this is gonna be a level 2 harm. Yeah, and I think what they do is they break one of your fingers.
Oh.
And so you're going to write in the first box there.
It's
on
not
your
the
level...
finger that he uses to fire his rifle, is it?
Well,
got 9
that's
more.
what I'm kind of
Figure it out.
thinking. And that's kind of basically what they do. They break your finger, one of your fingers.
Damn.
Yeah. So in the first level 2 harm box, you're going to write broken fingers or broken hand, whichever one you want. And then this comes across as you basically get into a brawl with these guys. And you perhaps beat them all senseless in the end. I don't know, but
just let Umbra free. Have
yeah. Oh no.
Your wounded shadow animal.
And your hand or your fingers get damaged in this process.
Did I de-stress by any chance in this?
You did. You
So I
cleared all of
do
your
lose.
stress, I think.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do have another downtime action available to you, and you might want to try healing.
Yeah, I think I might try and fix them broken fingers. Convenient.
Yeah. This is where you're like, I want to repair my fingers, and you're like, oh, you tried to do it. You tried to do it yourself.
Botched job.
And then you heal you heal your fingers, but then you take 2 stress.
Yeah. The recovery is kind of classed as like a long-term project. You probably noticed on your sheet there you've got a little clock.
Yep.
That kind of has 4 segments in it, which you use to kind of reduce the damage. You're on a level 2 harm, so once that clock is filled once, it will go down to a level 1 harm, and then it will you do it again, it will clear to a level. Well, it will just clear after a level 1.
Yep.
So you need to find somebody that can heal you. Unless you know anybody. Does any of your contacts have the ability to heal, or is there anything like that?
No,
Who
my contacts are quite the opposite of the healing variety.
Oh, more of the inflicting injuries
Yes.
variety.
If I wanted to break my
Can't they
fingers.
go to Night Market to find healers? Isn't Night Market got
Yeah.
both?
I mean,
Well,
if they
it-
removed the entire finger, that would stop it being broken.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, as good as anyway.
I'm gonna say that's Plan B.
Right. Okay. So here's the alternative. Right. You can spend 1 coin.
Yep.
Yeah. And this will give you an extra bonus, an extra downtime action, which will mean that you can then use that time to acquire an asset, and the asset being you can find what they call a physica, which is somebody that can heal you.
Yep.
And I don't think it's going to be a particularly difficult long-term project, this, but it does mean that you're going to have to roll, and you're going to use an ability to find this particular person. I guess you could use. Could you use hunt maybe to?
I was thinking Hunt.
Yeah, he only looks for them outside of office hours.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
gonna be the plan.
Okay, so I'm gonna create a little.
Well,
Plot.
that coin was well lasted, didn't it?
Well, you don't want to get too much money too quickly, do you? Let's
I just
face
don't
it.
get it.
Teaches you appreciate it more.
Yeah, I'm going to make this a 4 o'clock.
Yep.
So, what we're going to do is you're going to use an ability.
Yep.
You can choose whichever ability that is. I guess things like hunt.
I am
qualify.
thinking Hunt. I am thinking Hunt.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that for now anyway.
Yep.
Brevity, and you can make a roll on that. It's going to be. I think it'll be controlled.
Yep.
Standard effect.
Did you say there was a +1 or there isn't a?
And I don't think there's a plus. No, unless there's something that you can use to.
No.
Unless you can come up with something that would be worthy of an extra die. Yeah,
Maybe like a hypochondriac.
No. Oh,
Okay. I think that pretty much will clear that. Let's say.
Yes.
So you managed to find. You search the streets looking for, asking questions, maybe speaking to some of the people that you know in the street or whatever, and they kind of can direct you to what, let's say night market or something like that. Actually, it doesn't really matter which district. If you got which district would you like them to be in? You don't know.
Oh,
No,
whichever's the grungiest and darkest.
Night Market.
Crow's Foot it is then.
He's a guy who stays in the shadows and the.
Okay. So you're kind of directed to a tenement house over in Rag and Bone in Crow's Foot, and it's worrying, and perhaps it causes you a little bit of stress knowing that the Crow's Foot Blue Coat precinct is not too far away from where this person is. But you find this old kind of dilapidated building where you've been directed to. There are multiple kind of floors. They seem to be apartments kind of built into these things. There are children running around in the streets. Crow's Foot is notoriously bad in terms of the level of law and order that's here, which kind of suits you, I guess.
Yes.
And you walk up a few kind of like concrete steps up to the entrance to this little building, and then make your way up to the top floor as you've been directed. There's a secret knock that you have been told to use, which you go ahead and do, and the door kind of opens. This wizened old woman kind of is inside. She ushers you in.
I assume I knock with my elbow, with the fingers being
You
broken.
got 2 hands.
2 hands. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or even your head. I don't know. And she ushers you in and kind of looks around suspiciously outside as she closes the door. And she says, "So, you require healing, do you?"
Yes. And he holds out his hand.
Yeah. And she sees these kind of bruises and scrapes on your face. Run into a little trouble, did you? He says.
A little bit of fun.
Always seems fun at the time, doesn't it? Let me have a look.
He'll hold out his hand for her.
Yep. And she kind of examines that. And kind of gently kind of moves some of these fingers and watches you kind of wince in pain. You can see it kind of chuckling to herself a little bit as you kind of as you do that. Now I think you rolled a 6. That's a pretty good roll. So I think that she's going to be pretty good at this. And so I think what we should do is we should roll. If you look on the old left-hand side of the sheet, you should have on the icons on the left-hand side there. At the bottom there should be some dice, yeah? Do you see those? Or is that just for GMs? I can't remember.
I think that might be just for you.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm gonna roll it then because and I think yeah. Is there? Right, it's the dice icon on the left-hand side of the screen.
Oh, what? Oh, you mean off the character sheet? I was looking on the character sheet. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No. It's on the map. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So you do that. Let's use 2 dice, I think.
Yep.
And because she's going to be pretty good, you rolled a 6. That's good. Oh my God, you've critted it.
2 sixes.
2 sixes.
2 sixes.
Yeah. Right.
So just how many extra fingers he comes back with?
That'll be 3 segments on a clock. So
7 fingers now.
Yeah. She rubs some kind of salve on to these fingers, and surprisingly gently, as she kind of does this, and then she kind of bandages them up, and you don't know. There's something about it means that you kind of feel pretty much easier. It feels kind of easier on them already. It kind of soothes them quite well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that level 2 harm.
Yep.
You can remove that.
Yay!
And I think we're going to move it and turn it into a level 1 harm.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be bruised or sprained hand or something.
Yep.
Yep. And the clock that you've got there, because you rolled a crit, I want you to colour in 2 of those boxes.
Yep.
There you go. And that basically means that you're halfway to kind of getting that hand completely fixed up.
Lovely.
And I think that basically sums it up for you. I think that's your 2 actions, unless you wanted to.
No, I think I've done enough damage. No, I've just lost.
Haven't you?
God, yeah.
So, who's up next then?
Thought he was.
Yeah, Slip.
Jeff.
Slip. What is it you wanting to do with your downtime?
I definitely need to indulge my vice, which is a weird vice. What happens is, I find a boat somewhere that takes us outside, outside of the force field into the sea.
Okay.
And this boat has got some sort of it's almost like glass bottom boat. But in that boat, there is someone who's able to channel the spirits from the sea, and they control this up, and these spirits, and they momentarily control the level of immersion of that particular. I don't know if it's Leviathan or what. I don't know what the name of the things are that are in the
Yeah, I mean,
the waters,
the
but they're
demons,
pretty
the
nasty.
Leviathans are the big ones.
Yeah.
There are demons and all kind of stuff that float around. Yeah.
So it's a kind of it's a sort of controlled possession type thing where the ghosts. I don't know what there's mirrors involved. There's there's all kind of things, but
Yeah.
but it's also so what I get out of it is just is this kind of weird experience of being in someone else's memories, and living it almost like it's somehow they channel the memories out into the mind.
Right, and these are just random person's memories. I mean, you
never know.
maybe
You never
people from
know.
before the cataclysm or something like that.
Yeah,
They're
you're
all
never. You never know what you're gonna
Oh
get.
my
Total-
god, please do not overindulge that, because that's going to go categorically wrong if you overindulge on that.
there. But what they get out of it is these guys are like some sort of freaky catalogers of experience, and so they in return I have to tell them the story of what I experienced while I was under.
Actually, I
And
can
they,
imagine that you're like in some kind of semi-trance state or something, and basically you're what's going on. And
yeah,
they're-
sure,
these
like
guys
that. Yeah.
feverishly scribbling it all down as you kind of
Yep.
you go through all that. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Now you can roll on pretty much any one of those insight, prowess, or resolve because they're all the same for you. So you don't have any lowest, which is handy.
Show off.
Insight or resolve would be lowest. 2 and 2. I've got 3 in prowess.
It's the first column. Whatever you got in the first column is
sorry, first column. Right, got you.
Yeah,
got you,
yeah.
Right.
So it's like 2 on all of those. So
I'll roll and resolve.
okay.
Just all the standards, is it?
Yeah, because we're just after a number. You lose. So you resolve. Yeah, you clear 5 stress.
How many
nice.
stress have you got?
I had 7, so that's pretty good.
That's
Oh,
good. Yeah.
7! Wow!
Yeah, I like having lots of stresses. Apparently, like you're like safe.
Yeah. It is only in this instance, but obviously, if you use all 9 stress, then you have a trauma, and bad thing will happen to you, or you will disappear momentarily from the game for a while. But that was a good roll. You have an extra downtime action. Is there something that you wish to do with that? You did mention something about losing heat, didn't you?
I would like to use some of my downtime activity to lose some of the crew heat. And the way I'm gonna do that is to use one of my contacts to basically just put a bit of pressure on the people who saw us in the house, and just ensure that they understand how bad it really will be for them if they say anything. And in fact, it might be a good idea for them to say that actually it was all just a bit of a misunderstanding.
It was the red package, right?
Aye. And yeah,
Those bloody
and so,
red slashes.
and so sort of things like somebody slipping in and sitting on the end of the bed at night and just kind of watching. That's the sort of thing my friend can do.
Okay, is this
yeah.
this would be your
Garton.
dangerous friend, Garton Faltaine, yeah?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And he's a Taikarosi as well, so it's a little bit on the strange side.
So he's a bit weird, yeah.
Yeah. So he looks very much the part when he's able to get in. So
I think we need to make an action roll, obviously, for this. Now you're trying to persuade your friend to do this for you. And so it kind of makes sense that it's going to be some kind of interpersonal kind of interaction that we're talking about here. In this regard. What ability? You think it's consort? Yeah, I think you're probably right. That sounds about right to me. Yeah. Is there something that might give you a bonus die? I mean, you mentioned him being Taikarosi and a bit weird. He's an assassin. I guess he's quite frightening and intimidating when he wants to be, or...
But so is Slip, so I think they get on quite well in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's just gonna go straight out and hang out with the dude and talk about some of the things that have been going on and just sort of ask, basically, because he's a pal.
Yeah. Let's go in, a 5. Ah, excellent. Yeah, and that goes off without a hitch. You can reduce 2 heat with that roll, as your friend Garten Faltane basically visits 6 towers, a particular house in 6 towers in the dead of night, and tells people
that it was the Red Sashes.
Yeah, and you're going to tell people it was the Red Sashes, because if you don't, you may not be waking up tomorrow. And that goes off without a hitch. Yeah, you can reduce 2 heat from your crew.
Nice
Done that,
one.
yep.
Well
Yep.
done.
Hope we never run into the Red Sashes.
That would be great, wouldn't it? So, who's up next? I think we've just got 2 left now. It's Solomon or Nicholas.
Nicholas, you want to go first? Or you still
I
decided?
can do. I'm fine.
Okey-dokey. What is it that Nicholas will be doing with his downtime actions? Like I say, you have a few options. You can try and heal up. You can try and reduce your stress. You can reduce the heat of the crew, or you can indulge yourself in some kind of long-term project, which will take a little bit of time and may not be completed during this downtime action, but
Yeah.
might take several sessions for that to occur. But
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't choose to take Casper round back to reduce our heat.
Yeah. I think first I'm going to see a man about some powder.
powder. Okay, what kind of powder is this?
You know, the kind of powder you get illegitimately on the streets.
Oh,
If you know the right people. I'm indulging my vice.
It's the kind of powder where, yeah, it might end up your nose or something.
No, if you happen to slip on the way.
Okay. Is there is this anybody in particular? Do you have any idea as to where he might get this this power from? I mean, I can see here that Nicholas's vice is stupor, so he likes to get a little bit out of it, as in a way of relaxing. So this is kind of recreational narcotics. Is that what I'm?
That's the one.
Reading it? Excellent. And is there anything? I mean, there are numerous drugs that are kind of used in Duskwall. The most prominent one, probably with most classes, is this thing called Black Lotus, which is just some narcotic that it can be used in numerous different ways, most often inhaled. Would this be the kind of thing that Nicholas would be looking for? Like a hallucinogenic almost, this thing. And
I'm not really looking for a hallucinogenic. I'm just looking for something to turn me off for a while, as it were.
oh, All right.
The most direct example of stupor. Basically, he's looking for something that just stops him caring for a little while.
Okay. Does his vice purveyor? How does his vice purveyor get him this stuff? Does he kind of just? Is he selling it out on the street somewhere on a street corner, or is he? Does he have to go into? I mean, they're the equivalent of like opium dens, if you like, in Duskwall. Does he visit one of those kind of places, or is
I'm
he?
feeling it's more of a dark alley deal.
Ah, okay, yeah, kind of the street corner. Here you go. Here's
Yep.
you slip him your 25 quid, and here's your. Yeah, sure, right. Okay. And then you just go back home and take this thing by yourself. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I'll go into the boathouse and collapse in the boat and indulge myself.
Okay. Right. So I think
That
you are going to
sounded
use
wrong.
your. You're going to be using resolve.
Oh,
The-
dear.
Yes.
So what's going to happen if you have no points in any of the resolve abilities? So what's going to happen is you're going to roll. When you roll that, it's going to roll 2 dice, and we're going to choose the lowest dice.
How many stress have you got?
He's only got 4, so this is
That'll
this
be
is
fun.
good. This is this is
Don't
good.
crit
I know
it.
what my dice rolls are like.
Go on then.
Perfect. Look
Oh.
at that. Well, actually, you got 3. You reduce 3 of your stress, so you're left with 1. But you collapse into the boat. You do whatever it is with this your drug of choice, whether it's smoke it, inject it, however it works. Yeah. And you pass out for an evening while laying in this boat, and you go off to sleepy, dreamy land. Excellent. And is there anything else that you would like to do with your other downtime action? You don't have to use it. It's not compulsory. But if there is anything else you would like to do, or can think of anything,
Reduce
think
aid.
that-
Yeah.
Some points.
Call Casper on back.
Someone's pushing something to do with Casper.
Yeah, go stand
No,
at
I
the edge
think
of here and look into the water. Just
I think I'm going to seek out a healer. I had a incident with a drain pipe recently, and it's not looking going very well.
it's very embarrassing. He doesn't like to talk about it.
okay.
Pretty much.
Now, much like you, do you have any friends that might? No, there isn't anybody.
Not necessarily.
I know a
have to
healer.
Seek someone else.
Yeah, so you may, much like Casper, you may have to spend that coin of yours to complete and acquire an asset kind of action first before you can heal.
Probably went together, wouldn't they? Or some. They were both going to.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
I
we
mean,
would
we
have
can
met up. You know, it's like after I broke my fingers, I'm not going to be. I'll go meet up with the other guy. See how they're doing. It's like you would have gone straight.
Or you just happened to bump into each other at the same time there.
True. I mean, what we could say is that if you did, we may be able to give you a bonus die to your acquire an asset thing, so that you may get an extra dice for that. But if it's more likely that you would have kind of gone your separate ways after the heist and to do your own thing.
Depends which area would Nicholas go to.
Yeah, I mean, you can recover on your own, but it's not as likely to succeed.
I don't really want to take another job with my leg like this, though, so
Right.
I'm seeking out a healer.
Okay. Now, you're going to do this by asking around and speaking to contacts and friends and stuff, much like Casper did, I guess. But you get to choose what ability it is you're using to do this, and as long as we can kind of justify it.
What, for asking about?
Yeah.
I have a long list of abilities that's good at asking about.
um.
No, I reckon
I'm
it'd be
wondering
consort, really.
whether or not consort, or whether you could put an argument for survey.
Maybe if I'm just wandering around looking for someone. I'm just wandering around looking for what seems like a healer's place, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. All right. I would be open to you using survey if you wanted to do that.
I'll wander the streets and try and find. I mean, I know what a healer's looks like. You know, there's people outside going, "Oh, my leg, my leg."
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you
bandages
just
and
have
stuff.
to follow Casper, I suppose, and
Fair. Yeah.
Woo! You don't get that in twice in a stream normally.
I found a healer.
You do. And it's not just any old healer. This person is exceptionally competent.
Yeah. King surgeon.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
Who specialises in
I'm
legs.
not sure how you manage it. But maybe you just get lucky and you kind of stumble across. I think it's probably going to be somebody in one of the higher ends of town as well that you end up getting kind of referred to. Perhaps you kind of just in your wandering as you're trying to find this physically, you find yourself in one of the more exclusive parts of town, the equivalent to like Harley Street or whatever in London, I guess. And this person, you somehow managed to convince them that they should treat you, and that you've had this accident, and with them being of the oath, as it were. I'm sure there's no Hippocratic oath in Duskwall, but they agree to treat you, and these people are going to be very, very good at what they do. So I think you can roll. If you roll those dice on the side there, if I want you to roll 3 of them.
Yep.
That was not so good.
I'm not finding them. I'm not good at using them.
Yeah. So, you find these people and they kind of agree to treat you, but you kind of get the impression that they're not particularly bothered about you at all, and perhaps you receive treatment that's perhaps a little.
You're not worthy their proper
you're not worthy
treatment.
of their time. That's kind of the what's happened here, and they've basically. You're gonna have to take that coin out of your stash, I'm afraid. That's gonna be fun. I'll get rid of it for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, they so they kind of treat you, but and they are supremely competent, but they clearly deem you, you're not really worth it that much, really. And so what you get is subpar treatment, and it doesn't really help at all.
They
I'm
look
not
down
coming
their
back
nose
here.
at you.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you do know them, and you could maybe come here again next time without having to kind of find a Physica. Next time we need to. So it moves us on then to our friend Solomon.
Yeah. So my 2 actions. What I'll probably do first will be try to work on the recovery, to try and undrain himself. What I've kind of been thinking of doing, sort of push a bit more of the supernatural stuff, is using his Vice Purveyor as a contact.
Yep.
To try and heal himself up. And I was thinking because his energy was drained by a ghost rather than like something like being physically exhausted by like physical means.
Yep.
That it's something to do with the ghost field or the spirit fence or something to like get energy back to like reinvigorate himself.
Okay.
I was thinking like maybe like they siphon off it. So one thing I had an idea before was to sort of retcon that where his dealer lives, rather than being like someplace in the docks, is that like near the Rovers camp, because I saw on the map of the Bridge of Dark Fruits.
Oh, okay.
They've got like old smugglers tunnels that go off through the sort of like islands and canals down that way. on Silk Shore, and that where they've set up is where the spirit fence sort of cuts through one of these old tunnels. So, like, if someone's really desperate to do a smuggler run, or they may not be able to anymore because of all the ghosts and stuff, then they've sort of set up near one of the only places where someone can actually access the spirit fence without being on the surface where all the spirit wardens and stuff can see you.
Okay.
And that's why he goes to extra lengths to try and keep them on his side, because like there isn't really another one like him.
Okay. And you. I mean, this could still be the same guy, like Hoodbo. It's just that it's not Docs. It's kind of where we say
sure. Yeah, all these old tunnels and things. And I was thinking about the idea of potentially either they like drain energy from the spirit fence, or like sort of to recharge him, or like maybe they use like the electroplasm, because apparently that also has a harmful effect on ghost stuff.
Right.
You could. I know it's like this horrible material, but it's like almost like shoot up on it, or I don't know.
I'm kind of imagining then some kind of underground, almost laboratory, kind of setup, which has got these kind of beds that are kind of set down, a bit like the old Frankenstein movies with the
all these big hulking machines full of like energy and testicles
and electricity kind of crackling between these different pylons and things like that. And somehow they're kind of channeling this away from the fence. Then is that the deal? And
so essentially, like like an energy transfusion, like slowly over like a period of time.
Yeah.
Rather than just doing like you get zapped by lightning and now you're back on your feet. So that's because you have that high sort of thing. What do you think? Or...
I mean, I like the idea a lot. I think that's really good.
Like a treatment, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this is going to be somebody. So, this is somebody that you're going to be put in touch with by your vice purveyor. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anybody have any objections to that? I mean, do you all think that's okay? I mean, I'm thinking
I think it's
in terms
cool.
of
Good image.
Yeah. I think this is kind of cool. So let's go for that then.
I mean, I won't
so
screw him
you're
up like he tried to kill me earlier, you know. just remember that, yeah.
Well, you mean him actively encouraging other people to take you out back and give you a damn good thrashing?
Well, no, because we can set this amazing thing up, but he's got to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's that as well. Yeah.
You can have the thing, but then you have to do the roll for like how well it works.
Yeah. What stress have you got?
I mean, this is for the harm, so I think that
it's the harm, not
just over a period of time to see. It's like because you have the little clock to work out how much you're healing up.
Yeah.
So roll.
I mean, I really like that idea. I think that's it's kind of cool. I'm wondering if you need to make some kind of roll before to kind of get in touch with this person, on account of the fact that the other guys have to do something to kind of find.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? And in terms of fairness, almost, if you like. So something, some kind of role may be required from you. Well, I'm thinking more like an ability, like. It would make sense for something like Consort, maybe, because the vice purveyor is somebody you know.
I have Sway. I don't know, but Consort I can roll. They'll just be on a 0D.
Oh, right, okay.
You could do Study. I don't know if Study could be used in that situation.
Yeah, how would that work? I guess maybe...
Instead of tracking down through, like research.
The problem we've got there is it would be another long-term project like we've made the other guys do.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because that way, unless this guy is actually putting you in touch with him, if he's like basically saying you go here, it's more a case of he's going to have to study a way or find a way to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Maybe you could do it as like the quiet thing, or like a long-term goal. Yeah, like he's he's trying to build the machine. Like maybe Solomon's trying to like build the machine. Like I don't know.
That would be a really long project.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think I prefer the idea that somebody else is already doing it,
Yeah.
and that Solomon finds out.
So try to track him down. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be. You're going to have to spend one of your downtime actions then acquiring an asset.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I think that's where we'll go with that then.
Cool.
So you're going to use study, did you say? Was that the... Perhaps it's documents or something at your vice purveyors.
Yeah, I was just had the idea of like maybe like what kind of stuff you would need. So you do that kind of thing, where they do like the paper trails of like, who's been buying these kind of.
Yeah. Oh,
or,
yes.
like tracking paper trails, like
yes, I like that.
a sleuthing kind of approach.
No, that's good. Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah.
All right, risky standard.
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing. It doesn't matter about.
Partial
success. So that means that
Ooh.
we're going to have a clock.
Yeah.
And it's going to fill in so many segments of that clock.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it really, really difficult. So I'm going to create a clock, which is require
Add it to my notes somewhere.
healer. Well, this clock will appear. I'll share this with you, and it will be under.
Okay.
Under clocks for you in a moment. You'll see it in the journal, in the characters tab.
Cool. Okay.
And you got a 4 partial success. So I think it's 2 of those squares get filled in, and if I share that with Lloyd, you can be the owner of that. So you should have a thing called
acquire a healer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool.
So you're not there yet, but you do have another downtime action which you could spend.
I was going to sell it
or... okay, indulge your vice.
I mean, it kind of fit like I kind of had like a cool idea, but I don't know if it'll tie in too much, like too similar to what we did for the recovery bit. But I was thinking the idea for his vice is that he goes into the ghost field itself.
Yes.
And I was thinking because it got like the idea was kind of like looking at my character portrait on the stream, where he's got like the blue wispiness, like he's like not entirely human.
Yeah.
That he crosses into the ghost force, and like his vice is that he feeds on ghosts. Like he drains, rather than like healing himself up by that. Maybe it's kind of like the thing like where they do the trance with the memories and stuff, or
maybe something like those the isolation chamber things, whatever I can't remember what they're called. Sensory deprivation kind of thing, but to do with the ghost field maybe, and I can imagine him kind of perhaps falling into that and floating around in the ghost field maybe.
Yeah.
And that maybe gives us an idea then if you overindulge that maybe he attracts some kind of attention while he's in there, I guess. That could be.
Like something follows him back. Whatever.
Yeah. So I'm open to that if that's what you want to go with.
Yeah. Because then he has that. Because he's also got his little friend Gwen, the little girl ghost.
He does, yeah.
That would be his sort of way as well of spending time with her, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of
okay. And she kind of speaks to him or whatever during that kind of period.
Yeah.
So Solomon has this.
So it's kind of like the reverse of what happens with Croy's character, where rather than like getting the ghost in, you could sort of go.
Yeah. Solomon has an acquaintance that from childhood that actually is a ghost of a young child, I think it is, called Gwen, and I guess he kind of uses this in a degree, in a way, maybe he almost communes with her in some way, and they hang out perhaps while floating around in this kind of sensory deprivation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Does that sound about?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like experiencing like the other reality, and that's kind of thing. That kind of pull of whether this, like the whole thing, that like lure of like how everything's sort of different, and you might want to like stay or
and so I guess you kind of fall into this kind of thing. It's like falling into the void sea almost, as you kind of you find yourself floating in this absolute darkness. But you can hear Gwen, and she kind of speaking to you, and she's concerned. You know, she's doing the whole "you're hurt," and is trying desperately to help you, and perhaps talking you down almost from the experience that you've had. Okay, let's have a look. What we got? So you're going to roll on your lowest. Your lowest is prowess because you only have one dot on that first column in that. So that's what you're going to roll. We're going to see how much stress you can reduce. And you reduce 4 stress. That's not more than you've got?
No, I've got 6. That's cool. A good chunk of it.
You got 2 left. So that helps. And she, talking to her, and she kind of calms you down and is able to kind of rationalize things out with you, and
or at least take your mind off them.
Takes you somewhere maybe where you gamble through meadows of poppies,
relive old memories or whatever.
So that's it. I think we've done downtime for everybody there. And it is half.
And everyone succeeded apart from one.
That's the standard of the night so far.
What, are we doing XP?
We'll
leave that.
We can quickly do XP now if you want.
No, it's getting late. I wonder if we.
Do you want to just call it there?
I don't know.
We can do it XP before we start the next game, maybe. And
yeah.
All right, that's cool. Nice one.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll call it then.
Thank you for everyone who's watched. This will be back now in
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be 3 weeks. Yeah.
We'll
be back. It will be on the 13th of Feb.
Very nice. So thank you to Rasinka and Meow Neva for the bits for tonight. Thank you to Anonymous Gifter for donating a subscription to The Only Aldo. Thank you very much. And to a load of random people who renewed their subscriptions. No one cares about them. It was us, just so you know. But so thank you very much, everyone who's watching. We are going to be raiding Superwolf, yes. So if he's doing a bit of D&D, I believe, so spam the Infinite Monkey symbol when you get there. Let him know we're here.
Send him
the love and the love. And this is not a cat stream.
I'm sorry, he wants feeding.
He always wants feeding. That's why he's the size of a small planet.
So thank you everyone for coming tonight, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Good night.
Nice one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.